Shalom. Giving all honor and praise to the Most High, this on your house, Shine. We are the battle action of the Most High coming to you on the Sabbath class, get edified in the Most High God's name. Today we're going into a Q&A. We're calling all smoke, all scoffers, all questions. We'll try to go through the Bible, man, get it edified in the Lord's name, man. Try to get this thing going. We've noticed, man, a lot of our classes, man, here lately. A lot of our classes here lately. It seems like scoffers been on an all-time high. So, click the link. Say, click the link. But brothers and sisters in class that got questions, we're taking questions in class, online, Facebook, whatever we logged into. Guess what? Let's do it. So, any brothers and sisters today in class, y'all got any questions? I know before the cameras came on, brother had a lot of questions. Come on, you guys see it.
Okay, so this is in the Apocrypha in Tobit.
Tobit, right.
So Tobit 9 and 1 and 2.
Well, I read it. Yeah, the question goes from Tobit chapter 9, verses 1 and 2.
The book of Tobit, chapter 9, verse 1. Then Tobias called Raphael and said unto him, Brother Azarias, take with thee a servant and 2 camels, and go to the rag of Media to Gabel, and bring me the money, and bring him to the wedding. And Raguel has sworn that I shall not depart.
What was the question?
Okay, so the question is, so this is Raphael, but he also have another name, Azarias. So could you call him one or the other? I know we always say Raphael, but I was reading this and I said, oh, we have another name.
I mean,
which is going to go into the second part. I have another question.
Okay, just ask, you ask both parts.
Okay, so the other question is in Tobit 12 and 19.
The book of Tobit, chapter 12, verse 19. All these days I did appear unto you, but I did neither eat nor drink, but you did see a vision.
Okay, so the question is, so all the time he was with Tobias, he was like in man form.
Yeah.
And he was eating and drinking, so they thought, but in reality, there was just a vision, because he really wasn't doing that. He really wasn't doing it because he was an angel.
Yeah. That's the same thing. Yeah, he had a so basically he had a fleshly name too. They didn't going into that. What precept brothers can come to? I'm gonna help you out, Hebrews. Read it.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 2, verse 16. For verily he took not on him the nature of angels,
Read.
but he took on him the seed of Abraham.
That ain't what I want. Angels on over there.
Oh,
13. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 1.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 1. Let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware.
Because guess what? The Lord can send an angel down in any form he wants. Right? Just like even with Christ came down in a different form. Right? So the Lord can use the angels, like he said, like he used Raphael and Tobias to come into a form. What you think happened in let me go back. Watch this. Tobit chapter 5. Yeah, Tobit chapter 5. Go to Tobit chapter 5. Start at verse 4.
The book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse 4. Therefore, when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael, that was an angel.
That was an angel. Read.
But he knew not. And he said unto him,
This goes into, he said he knew not. This goes into the Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 1. He was entertaining the angels unaware, right? Read.
Canst thou go with me to Rages? And knowest thou places well? To whom the angel said, I will go with thee. I know the way well, for I have lies with our brother Gabriel, Gabriel. Then Tobias said unto him, tarry for me till I tell my father. Then he said unto him, go and tarry not. So he went in and said to his father, behold, I have one which will go with me. Then he said, oh, I have found one which will go with me. Then he said, call him unto me, that I may know of what tribe he is, and whether he be a trusty man to go with me. So he called him, and he came in.
So guess what? And this is Tobias, or Raphael talking to Tobias, and so Tobias is going to take him over to meet Tobit, his father. So his father can ask the question. You know how you bring your friends around. Hey, I need to see who this person is, right? I'm gonna see if you're a trusted man or somebody I can send my son with, right? Read on.
So he called him, and he came in, and they saluted one another. Then Tobit said unto him, brother, show me of what tribe and family thou art. To whom he said, dost thou seek for a tribe or family or an hired man to go with thy son?
Read.
Then Tobit said unto him, I would know, brother, thy kindred and name.
He said, I'm gonna know your kindred and name. Read on.
Then he said, I am Azarias, the son of Anias the great, and of thy brethren.
You see how they go? The Lord sent him down into a form of a man, and guess what? That's what made Tobit send his son with him to go on the journey, right? So he did have the earthly name, right? He came down in the form.
Do brothers and sisters understand that? Tobit is a good read for that particular subject as well. So brothers and sisters want to make sure that they highlight those things and go back and read over those things. Those was a perfect precept, like you say. That's what we always tell brothers and sisters, to stay in the spirit, because you never know who you entertain. You could be entertaining angels. Go ahead, sis.
Okay, so my also actually strangers unaware. I know that the strangers, the angels are opposed. So like he wouldn't stand the angel as someone of another nation. He doesn't actually like.
Say it again. Would he be seeing him as another nation?
Like, he wouldn't stand the angel as the other, someone of the other nation.
Now that's a good question, sis. Damn good question.
You know, they use other nations.
Right. I know they give you things, but I also know that the angels
Angels
are
are,
opposed.
yeah.
And we're not supposed to use the other nation. So like.
But I mean, it's I think you're kind of looking at it the wrong way. Let me help you out. It's not sin, it's spirits. It's not an angel, it's spirits that the Lord sent out. So if he sent out an angel, he sent out a spirit. So I think you compiling it to be just like, can the angel be good? No, the angels already have their job. But the spirit that the Lord sent out can come on anybody. You see what I'm saying? That's the spirit the Lord sends out. So it can come basically anything. But far with the angels, it's the Lord's spirit that he sends out to anybody. But we don't see, I don't see nothing in the scripture. Do you see anything in the scripture?
Because I would go ahead.
The thing I would believe that he wouldn't seem like you're saying, probably like a white man or something.
Right.
But then at the same time, our people didn't trust him anyway. So to have his trust, I don't think he would send a white man that he already know, that the Bible already know that's my enemy. don't trust them at all. So why would he even? It wouldn't be smarter than Most High to just send down a white man and tell his man to trust him when he already told him, don't trust your enemy.
And that's a good point. And another point I will bring up, let's go to Revelation chapter 22, verse 9. Right quick, because one of the key words they keep saying is, say it again, who said it? You're in the spirit,
Uh-huh.
in the spirit. Huh?
I don't got it.
I'll read it.
Yeah, that's a good
Brother
point.
Ezekiel, y'all in the spirit. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 9. Then said he unto me, see thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren the prophet, and of them which keep the sayings of this book. Worship God. So we see even this in this account, and even in the account that we just read with Tobit, where they said that the angels referred to us as our what? As our brother.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
They would be looking like us, probably recognized as a tribe of Israel instead of any other nation. Like I said, he told us don't trust the enemy. Then he sent him as an enemy, then how can I listen to his words when he told me not to trust him?
Yeah, that's another great point Captain Matthews brought up.
We got any more questions out there?
So like, I know y'all always saying like stuff people want to do is our lot. Can our lot possibly change?
And what?
Can our lot change?
Change.
A lot.
Our lot.
What you're destined to do, basically.
What y'all think? I mean, your lot is your lot. You got to fulfill your lot. I mean,
We got that precept of lots.
for real.
Let's get that. All praise up. Brother Ezekiel, y'all come out on fire. Shots blazing. Say that boy good. Damn.
Starting now.
In the pocket for me.
The book of Esther, chapter 10, verse 10. Therefore, he had made two lots, one for the people of God and another for all the Gentiles. Read verse 9. So like, Esther, chapter 10, verse 9. And my nation is this Israel, which cried to God and were saved. For the Lord had saved his people, and the Lord had delivered us from all those evils. And God hath wrought signs and great wonders, which have not been done among the Gentiles. Therefore hath he made two lots, one for the people of God and another for all the Gentiles. And these two lots came at the hour, in time, and day of judgment before God amongst all nations.
No, you good. So basically, because you know, Glock going into, in this instance, this line is going into what? Israel versus everybody else, right? That he chose Israel, and that's your lot. You either got to come back as an Israelite. Either way, you can be a real nigga, but you're still an Israelite, right? That's your lot. Not going into it, or you saying like if your lot can change as far as your lifestyle, like in living in your life.
Yeah, you can
You can
change your
change
lot.
it. Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, you can change.
But if you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing as Israelite, then you consider the Gentile. So yeah, those two lots, meaning that your inheritance has been taken away,
Well, you can go to second.
and you would inherit what the Gentiles getting, and that's what he said, joining hand in hand. You can take their lot by doing that, and take their destruction, which is what they're gonna have.
Go to Second Chronicles, chapter 7, verse 14. I mean, you can change, like, if you destined to go to the lake of fire, you can change your destination by repenting.
Yes.
Right. You gotta be more specific.
Yeah, because
Saying the things that you,
Fire.
yeah, like when you're saying what you're going through in life, or what you've been given in this life to deal with, or like you're talking about your family, you're talking about your struggles, you're talking about like you gotta be specific. Because in certain instances, they won't change. Like you're gonna forever have struggle. We all gonna have struggle, right? That lot ain't gonna change until the Most High God say Christ back. That lot's not gonna change.
So I guess what I'm saying, whenever it's like, I see a situation. I always thought that I would do like that, right? So it's like, I used to say, there'll never be me with you. Because, right? Here it is something different. Like, how did that come about to me? And I said, no. Because it was already my life. They was needed. I said, like, change to where it is. I'm like, we're going to be. Let them see it wrong.
No, question can't be a wrong question. You just trying to get understanding.
The thing is your life was always your life. You may not have known that it was. And that's the thing. Let's go to Romans chapter 8. Because remember, everything is what? Already predestined. So you predestined to do the things that you were supposed to do in this right time. Remember, some people are made to come into the truth. Some people are made to come into the truth immediately. Some people it's going to take time. Romans chapter 8. So now you, and even like what Captain Yara said, now, with the trials and tribulations that you go through, that's not going to change. But everything is always predestined. Romans chapter 8 and verse 29.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 29. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son.
Read on up.
That he might be the firstborn amongst many brethren.
Read on up.
Moreover, whom he did predestinate.
Meaning what? It's the Most High God knew who was going to make it to the kingdom in the beginning. He already knew these things. We just don't know these things. But reading scriptures like these, you struggling trying to keep the commandments, hey, you want to make yourself within that number for damn sure.
Right.
Read on.
Them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them also glorified.
So we see it's always levels to this thing. The Most High God knew the spirits that was going to serve him from the beginning. Like I said, that's your own personal life, what you had to do to come into this truth. You understand that, sis?
Let's get another precept. 1 Timothy 1 and 9.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 9. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
It's like in 2 Timothy 1 and 9. Did I say first? 2 Timothy. It's like
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 9. Who have saved us and called us with an holy calling.
So the Father calls you with a holy calling no matter what you desire, because what is holy? What's the holy calling that we're talking about right now? Like we're dealing with children. That's a holy calling of the Father. Because some women what? Are barren, can't have children. But some women what? And that is what a woman's duty is to be, right? So that's the holy calling that he called you, whether you thought you weren't gonna have children or not, whether you said like my life, I thought I was gonna never stop smoking weed. I was gonna smoke weed until I died. So the Most High God called us with that holy calling, right? The holy calling is what that goodness that he wanted. It's always, like I said, it's already been predicted. You know,
Not according to our works,
not according to your works or how you felt about it, right? Not about how you thought the things were gonna turn out. But read,
but according to his own purpose.
read that again.
But according to his own purpose.
But we always got to remember that we are the clay, and we have a potter that is molding us to be what he wants us to be. Whether we want to be molded or not. See, the thing is, we be fighting that molding. We fighting that molding. He want to mold you, like we said. He want to mold you into a cup, but you still don't want to be a damn clay. So we fighting that molding, but the Father said he called for his own purpose. Read.
But according to his own purpose and grace, which was given us in Hamashiach Yahushua
Before what?
before the world began.
Just another precept on that. Hey, your lot was your lot from the beginning. In that instant.
Let's get another one. Go to 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Start at verse 18. Just like I said, man, we just we clay, man. The Lord fashioned it and he made the world, guess what? And through his working, guess what? There was some people that was gonna kick against the priest, and guess what? He was gonna let them slide through because they was gonna repent and come back to him. But some people he just had to get rid of too. Right? Read it out.
The book of 2 Esdras, chapter 9, verse 18. And now when I prepared the world, which was not yet made, even for them to dwell that in that now live.
Guess what? It's going into this present day, right? Read.
No man spake against me.
I mean, the Most High God said, no man spake against me when I needed the world to be made, right? Read.
For then everyone obeyed.
Uh-huh.
But now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by perpetual seed
Read.
and by a law which is unsearchable. Rid
They
themselves.
rid themselves, man. Right? Because some of our people, man, you got to think on how this captivity go and how we go into the world, man. Right?
Curses and blessings soon as they who you gonna serve.
That's right.
You're gonna go the other way. Let's go to
Hold
Proverbs.
on, I got one.
Yeah.
Just go on there. Right? It's like Isaac say, curses and blessings, man. Right? Choose ye this day who you gonna serve, right? Read it.
Verse 20. So I considered the world,
Well, so he considered the world, read,
and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it.
because he knew that men's mind think, guess what? I'm gonna try to find any way I can to get away from what God wants me to do. Men's mind was fully set to do what? To do evil, right? Read.
And I saw and spared it greatly.
And the Lord spared us greatly. Even though in our own thinking, we sometimes want to like, well, Lord, I just didn't want that, but in our own thinking, the Lord spared us, right? And he spared a lot of us in this truth, right? Read.
And have kept me a grape of the cluster,
And he kept us a great for the cluster, read.
and a plant of a great people.
And that's how we became the great people, man, in Israel. And even in the great people of Israel, some of us still, guess what, man? We're going to try to find a way to get out of this truth, man.
Yep.
Right? One more, I agree.
Verse 22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
Everybody that was born in vain, everybody that's not of the Most High, guess what? They're going to perish. If we don't choose thee this day for our God, you will perish, right? Read.
And let my grape be kept in my plant.
Guess what? But the one that's part of the great cluster, we gonna be kept. Lord's willing, man, right? If you are part of the great cluster, right? Read.
And let my grape be kept in my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect.
The great
Say that
lady.
again.
For with great labor have I made it perfect.
You better put some work in, though. Get back to this lot.
Go ahead, MacB.
Proverbs chapter 16, and we can start at 31.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 31. The hoary head is a crown of glory, if it be found in the way of righteousness.
If your works and stuff be found in the way of righteous, doing what the Most High God has always told us to do, and follow His ways, go ahead.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit, then he taketh a city.
Then he that taketh.
Then he that taketh a city. The lot is cast into the lap.
The Most High gave us all the instructions to go by. He gave us the way to be righteous. It's cast in your lap. Go ahead.
But the whole world disposing thereof is of the Lord.
But the Most High controls it all. He chose your life. Whether you walk in it or not, that's going to be up to you to serve the Most High in righteousness. But your lot is chosen already. He gave that to you. He gave that to us from, like it said read earlier, from the beginning of the world. Before the world was even created, He chose us. And now, do you choose Him? But the lot is already, it's already. The only thing He said, I will expose it. I will show you your lot. You have a lot. Or you're going to follow and take that path. Or you're going to choose destruction. So, like here, 16. But He said, I cast that lot in your lap. Your inheritance. Who you are. What you're supposed to be. The way that you should walk. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. The government. The priesthood. The sisterhood of the Bible. And He said, I cast that in your lap. And the disposing of it, He said that the disposing thereof is of the Lord. And why would He dispose it if you're doing the right thing? Like the brother brought out earlier in second ed. If you're doing the right thing with your lot, hey, he won't throw you away. You're keeping the lot that he gave you from the beginning, then therefore, guess what? You receive the kingdom. Y'all got anything else?
Any more brothers and sisters got any more questions? You got you good?
Actually, 23 to 26, that's the example of a lot being switched from one to another. But Judas lot is given to Matthias.
His inheritance taken away, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the type of lot. Judas type of lot was somebody that was what we going through right now. What we breaking down now. He went into sin and the Lord cast him out. Right.
Let's get it right quick. See what you got. Make sure brothers and sisters put that precept down in Captain Matthew. He said that thing precept with Esther. Write them things down, man, especially you brothers that teach out on the streets, man. You know, I'm always messing with y'all, man. Like Lil Ray, man. But if you get into the precepts, write them things down, man. This is how you brothers better yourselves, man. Like you be more and more upon precepts and so forth by taking good notes, writing these things down. Read that out.
Oh. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 35. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon, and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. And those ordinances, if those ordinances depart before me, said the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus said the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, said the Lord.
So what's the correlation now?
The saying of the Israel, a lot can be changed. And Matthew just said, it's like everything projected, right? Like it gives us a beginning. So Israel, he's saying if the sun and the moon can be cast off, then with Israel as a nation change. So we know that can't happen. If the sun and the moon won't be cast away, or from the beginning.
I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't use it for that particular topic. Yeah. You know, that's a precept that we use to show that basically Israelites is always going to be on the planet Earth. Mm-hmm. That's one that you could pin. And we know that even Esau is trying to do that thing. Hence, even with that submersible damn thing, they probably down there trying to search out the deep. That's why the Most High God destroyed that thing, man.
And what killed him?
Hey, they probably got that thing, man. They probably got that thing, man. And I mean, it could be that too. You know how we always thinking what spiritual.
Yeah, let's go to Job.
We always thinking spiritual. So I mean, hey, because I'm gonna tell you some of the evidence that they put out. They talk about they hearing knocking every 30 minutes. Hey. Father probably tore that thing up, man. And the brothers and sisters don't understand. Leviathan is basically like a sea dinosaur that the Most High God has in the oceans. Yes, dinosaurs are in the Bible. They in the Bible.
But I like the one about the Leviathan. Watch this.
Scripture. We're still going to Job.
Then we're going to Job. Job chapter 41.
Yeah.
It's gone. Start at verse 1. Start at verse 1. That's in the Bible.
The book of Job, chapter 41, verse 1. Canst thou draw out like Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord?
So they say, can somebody draw out the Leviathan with a hook? Nobody can catch this thing. It's gonna be in the seat of the generation, right? You can try to mess with it if you want to, right? But watch it, read it.
Or his tongue with the cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee?
Meaning this type of animal you're not gonna catch like a regular fish. This is what this is talking about. Read on.
Will he make many supplications unto thee?
Uh-huh.
Will he speak soft words unto thee?
And when this animal approach you, you're not gonna be like, hey, kitty, kitty, kitty. No, it's not that type of animal. For real. Read on.
Will he make a covenant with thee?
Or can you make an agreement with them like people with the animals in the zoo?
Here, fishy.
For real.
No.
Can it be trained? It can't be
You can't.
That's right.
I ain't gonna change this bug.
Read on.
Verse 5. Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever?
Are you gonna take this animal as a pet? You cannot take Leviathan as a pet. Read on up.
Wilt thou play with him as with a bird?
With a what?
Wilt thou play with him as with a bird?
He's not like the little your pet canaries that you got up in the cage. Stuff. Read on.
Wilt thou bind him for thy maiden?
Uh-huh.
Shall the companions make a banquet of him?
So guess what? This is not the type of animal that you catch and you sell in the marketplaces. Read on up.
Shall they port him among the merchants?
Read on up.
Canst thou fill his skin with barbed iron?
So guess what? You can't even shoot. No man-made weapon can harm this animal. Read on up.
Or his head with fish spears?
Read on.
Lay thy hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more.
Do know what?
Do no more.
Meaning when you approach this animal, guess what? Hey, you got your work cut out for you, man. He's gonna kill you. Read on.
Behold, the hope of him is in vain.
Is in what?
Is in vain.
If you thinking you're gonna survive this encounter with Leviathan, read on.
Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him?
Read that part again.
Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him?
Just imagine you up in a submersible vehicle and you see this thing. The Most High God said your sight will be, meaning you'll lose your bowels even just looking at this thing, man. A scary animal to behold. Is that what you wanted out? Verse 9.
Jump down to verse 14.
Verse 14. Who can open the doors of his face?
Mm-hmm.
His teeth are terrible round about.
Uh-huh.
His scales are his pride.
His scale are his pride. Read.
Shut up together as with a close seal.
Read on.
One is so near to another.
He said, this is how close to the Leviathan. When they swim, he said one is so near to the other one, read.
That no air can come between them.
It ain't no air can come between. It's like they connected. Right? So if you see them like they so big, and guess what, so massive, when you see them, you thinking it's one whole fish, and no, it's a whole bunch of Leviathans connected. They connected like more. You can't even put no air between them.
Jump up to verse 12.
Right?
Verse 12. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power.
Read on. No, read on.
I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion.
What do that mean? Any brother know what that means? I would not conceal. What does that mean? The brothers don't know.
You can't hide it.
Say it again.
You can't hide it. You can't hide it.
No, basically said the Most High God is going to show people his silence. He's not going to hide.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Most High God is letting us know. He's not going to hide it. You hear about these things in ancient tales over thousands and thousands upon years. From seafaring men in the oceans, they have always had tales of these things. That's why they make. That's right. 2,000 leagues, even in the Loch Ness Monster, all these different things point back to Leviathan. Go ahead, Al.
Right. Remember, but guess what? They up under the sea, but this is how the Most High said about it. Jump down to verse 19.
Verse 19. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out.
Read.
Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron.
Read.
His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth.
Read on.
In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him.
Sorrow is turned into joy before him, man. Right? Well, this mug ain't no joke, man. Right? This is Leviathan, man. So if you see that mug, that submarine, hey, after reading this, what do y'all think is gonna happen to the submarine going down there, man? You gonna try to go deep, but you gonna you encounter the Leviathan, what you think is gonna happen? Right? You got Ehud.
Is verse 23 referring to his skill?
Read verse 23.
Verse 23, the flake.
You said his scales was on verse 15. It's verse 15. You read verse 23.
Verse 23, the flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved.
Meaning it's a very well-built beast. It's not an easily killable beast.
No place to penetrate.
That's right.
And the cells that big that they can't penetrate. I can imagine this. Well, we don't know. I can imagine Edomites been trying to figure it out.
And they've been coming up dead every time.
That's why you can't get a good description from them when it comes down to these
Yeah.
months. Ain't nobody done seen it and lived, and then they would come back and tell you. So they can only imagine and give you what they think it's like. But the ones that's down there, nobody came back. And then the whole ship gone too.
And everybody trying to fight against it. This is what happened. Jump on verse 28.
Verse 28, the arrow cannot make him flee.
The arrow's going into bones or whatever we got. What weapons can't make him flee, man. Read.
Sling stones are turned with him into stubble.
Everything. He said sling stones turn to stubble, man. Read.
Darts are counted as stubble.
Uh-huh.
He laughed at the shaking of a spear.
Man, look at it. Anybody got a weapon, he gonna laugh at it like, man, look at this damn fool.
They shoot torpedoes at that politicking. Probably put that feather up.
Watch it. Remember we just read how the fire could come out of his mouth and all of this. Read the next part.
Verse 30, sharp stones are under him. He spread sharp pointed things upon the mire.
Read.
He made the deep to boil like a
You
pot.
see how I said that? That's why I say he got that fire, but he can heat up the damn sea.
Yeah, man, they be what they call those gushers, where you see where it just be bubbling in some area and boiling over in one little area. You be like, yeah, I'm down there breathing.
Like a Godzilla, man. That's what I'm just gonna say. This is like what they made
Godzilla ain't got nothing on
but
it.
everything that they describe
It's
is
just like
the movement.
That's what they try to
Godzilla has
come
the
out.
whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's probably Godzilla probably ain't nowhere near as big as this.
Yeah.
Because this one here is big.
Yeah.
So what you think is over there, computer trial?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Those bottom up, that's what they said. We done been up there, but further than we've been down there.
Just like you say, you got he man, Leviathan, you try to kill it, man, you just wasting your time.
Yeah.
Guess what? If you encounter it, guess what? You got a weapon, or you trying to harm it, it can heat the sea up on you, or it can just flat out kill you, man.
Put it this way, he won't be in no auditorium or no aquarium or nothing. They won't be playing with him, and they won't be playing it with him like they do with the Oracle.
Man, read that.
That's right.
I'll try to finish it out, man.
34.
Yeah, you're all right, brother, man, brother, put me down, pray.
Read down.
Verse 32, he maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be horrid. Upon earth there is not like it. Salaki. Upon earth there is not his like.
That's nothing like Leviathan. Read.
Who is made without fear.
Without fear. Read.
He beholdeth all things, all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride.
He is a what?
He is a king over all the children of pride.
And you know, what's that going to do? You say you take your hand down.
Yeah, that's exactly over all of them. You got that pride.
You want to go down there? You want to go to the
I'm gonna go check him out. We
Yeah,
go
we're going
check
down to the depth. We're going to the depth. Yeah, you ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get that second Ezra chapter 6, verse 52. This what brothers have the precept with it. All praise, right? Make sure y'all write these precepts together. Dinosaurs is in the Bible. Because we heard that one time. Brother, I don't believe the Bible. Why not, brother? Because they don't even talk about dinosaurs. Brother, they do talk about dinosaurs. Well, I still don't believe the Bible. Well, get the hell out of here then. Yeah, man. It's just not calling them dinosaurs in the Bible. That word is a fairly new word. They're called Bohemian and they're called Leviathan. Leviathan is going into the water dinosaurs. Bohemian is going into the land dinosaurs. You get to read this out. 6 and 52.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 52.
You start at verse 59. 49.
2nd Ezra 6 and 49. thou didst ordain 2 living creatures. The one thou callest Enoch, and the other Leviathan.
Jump down to 52.
Verse 52. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the 7th part.
The 7th what?
The 7th part.
What is the 7th part of the earth?
Oh, water.
The oceans, the water. Remember we talked about what the 4th part, the 5th parts, the parts of the world in the 7 seals class. Read that again up.
But unto Leviathan thou gavest the 7th part,
Read on.
namely the moist,
Meaning the water. Read on.
and hast kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt, and wing.
Read that last part again.
And has kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt, and win.
And has kept Leviathan to do what? Devour who and when at the say so of the Most High.
Yep. Earth is 75% water, 25% land.
And you just got to think about the power what the Most High God gave to Adam. He named this little thing. Right? Adam straight named this little thing. Look,
What the Most High God compared, like if you can't come unto Him, what the hell you think you're gonna do with me? It's Job 41. Go ahead,
So is Adam the only person that sees
That's what other people say.
I mean, you don't
Like Job?
No.
Job.
Shit, the Lord said he showed Moses everything.
Like, Adam
Yeah.
on the scene. The Leviathan.
Job had that guy to the scripture. He think he
Yeah,
got
I'm
the
just saying.
scripture.
That's what I'm saying. Job.
Moses,
Solomon. Moses.
They think, why is things passed down to us? We don't be going out and look at us from our ancestors knew what was in that water. We not even going in the water. No, there's something in there that ain't. We don't go in the water like that.
This Sister Mary Houston question, Brother Daniel, Shalom family. Family was asking, Shalom leadership. My question is, when we make it to the new kingdom, will we be able to see the Most High face to face? That's a good question. We get that sometimes, man. Let's go to the book. What brothers and sisters think, man?
We'll have a glorified body.
Before we get to the third heaven, we offer that.
Say it again.
what you got?
Now that's Christ in the wilderness. Will be forever. Get glorified bodies. Me personally, I would pray that we would be able to, but we do have to be in that particular type of form. That's why we're gonna have to learn to keep the commandments for how long? For 1,000 years.
Okay, question.
See, that's what I was
Question.
thinking.
Will we still have the Ark of the Covenant? So that's the place where we go talk to the Most High. Is.
And then, where's that third heaven?
1 Corinthians chapter 12.
I feel like we want to try to see it straight.
More,
But see, even when we don't even go up to them until after 1,000 years of us reigning, then we get the ministry and the kingdom be taken up and given up to the Most High.
Reverse the
I
count.
feel like we'll see his body as vegetable.
Now, when we get up there, that's what I think. But at that time, Yahweh shall be ruling this earth thing with the kingdom. Then when we go up, we'll be given up to the.
Yeah.
We'll be getting back up into the heaven where the Father sits at that time. 'Cause we gonna have to still work out some stuff as
Read that right quick, I got you.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 2. Oh, you want to read it?
Yeah, you can do that.
2 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 1. It is not expedient for me, doubtless, to glory. I will come to visions and revelations of the Lord. I knew a man in Christ above 14 years ago. Whether in the body, I cannot tell, or whether out of the body, I cannot tell. God knoweth. Such a one caught up to the third heaven. And I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell. God knoweth. How that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words, which is not lawful for a man to utter.
Is that what you wanted?
yeah, it was kind of a where we, I think it's in Revelation where we're gonna be offered up to the third heaven, to the God after the 1,000 years of Israel. Meaning we got a lot of stuff to still even work on before we can even see the Most High. Even in our glorious state, we still got to work on it
Yeah, Matthew
in
5
the
and 8.
new kingdom.
That's the one.
Yeah.
What about Matthew 5 and 8?
I heard.
Oh, okay. I have another day, so.
Less of that, you know, they shall see that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Read that right quick.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 5, verse 8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Read on.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Read on.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, that's pretty good precept.
5 to 15. That's talking about outside or no time?
Let's get that right quick.
I got one also.
All right. You said Isaiah 15 and 8.
Chapter 52, verse 8.
Yeah, remember that's talking about Christ.
Okay.
Read that right quick.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 8. Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice, and with the voice together shall they sing. For they shall see eye to eye when the Lord shall bring again Zion.
So this is going into what? We're going into the wilderness where Christ is going to teach us what? The correct way. Teach us whether we can do this, whether we can do that, to get all the nation what? On one accord. There's no arguing with the master teacher. What he say, hey, because he is the scriptures living.
Revelations 22, 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
The book of Revelation,
I
chapter
was looking at that one also. Yeah. Go ahead, Anselot.
the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 3. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their forehead.
Yeah, that's a good one. Read on.
And there shall be no night there. They shall need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord God giveth them light. And they shall reign forever and ever.
So does that mean it's not going to be no light, no sun, and no moon?
No.
No, it does not. Meaning what? We're going to have the understanding clear as day. Jump up to verse 1.
Is that light Yahweh shot?
Yeah, that light going into Yahweh as well. Meaning, it is also going into the understanding of the scriptures. Meaning it's not nothing that we're not going to know about the scriptures. Read that up.
Revelation 22, verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life,
Going into the understanding of the word. The word. Read on.
clear as crystal.
What?
Clear as crystal.
Meaning we're going to have the understanding of the Bible clear as crystal. It's not going to be this way, that way. No, everybody's going to speak on one accord with the understanding. Read on.
Proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb.
And of who?
And of the Lamb.
Because what? It's coming from the Most High from the Lamb to give to us.
And I,
Everybody on one accord.
and with that, and with that revelation, go read jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads.
I think that's really going into like the same thing he spoke with Moses in Exodus chapter 33, right? Let's go there. Because like I'm saying, we're going to have a crystal clear understanding. Like Moses had a crystal clear understanding because he's literally standing right here with Christ, and Christ telling them, look, this is what God said. He going to have it ain't no parables, it ain't no similitude that he can go to. No, it's crystal clear of what this thing going to be. Exodus 33, verse 11.
Book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend.
Yeah, I think this is what that good Revelation chapter 22 and verse 4 is going into. Not us seeing the Most High God, because the Most High God said nobody can see me and live. I think that's exactly what it is. You know, but I think him talking face to face with Moses, I think it's going to be like something like the same account. We're going to have a crystal clear understanding of the Bible. I think that's what this going into Revelation chapter 22 verse. That's right. So like just like I said too. Like just like Christ, if you say you see me, you see my Father. So we're gonna have it's gonna be clear. Right. Anybody else got more questions? Anybody else got some more questions? What say? What is what? What is deliverance? Deliverance out of what? Captivity or deliverance? What is deliverance? Give us deliverance scripture. This is deliverance. Go to Jeremiah 50, verse 33. This is one thing, you know, 3 scriptures of deliverance. We get down to read.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 33. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
So guess what? Oppression, guess what? That's something that we need to be delivered from. Oppression, right? Read.
And all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go.
This is something that we have to be delivered from, is our captivity, right? Read.
Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name.
Read on.
He shall thoroughly plead their cause.
This is going into deliverance. He gonna plead our cause to the people, man. They got us captive, man. They refuse to let us go, man. Read.
That he may give rest to the land and disquiet the enemy, the inhabitants of Babylon.
And he gonna disquiet the inhabitants. Guess what, man? Hey, he gonna shut them down, man. Right? They gonna beat him. He gonna throw down. He come and kick a little butt. You know.
So Luke 1-6. Well, no, precept. Deliverance.
I got a good one out there too.
Book of St. Luke, chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
That's one part about deliverance. Raising up for Christ, right? Because he got delivered, you know.
And as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began,
Which all the prophets spoke of, the coming of Christ, read.
that we should be saved from our enemies.
That we should be what?
That we should be saved from our enemies.
There goes some more deliverance. That we should be saved from our what?
From our enemies.
That's deliverance right there. Deliver us from our enemies. That right? Read.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
And from all them that hate us. There we go.
To perform the mercy promised to our Father. And to remember his holy covenant.
Read on.
The oath which he swore to our father Abraham.
Read 74.
That he would grant unto us that we, being delivered out of the hands of our enemies.
That we've been delivered out of the hands of our enemies. We are still in the hands of our enemies to this day. Right? We got to make sure we get our credit up. Where you see credit in the Bible? When the Lord talks about credit,
Fight those questions.
right? We still going there. We still getting taxed. Yeah, when we was in rulership, they was paying us, right?
Right.
But you see, even in our Roman captivity, they got what we was paying tribute in. So this is part of the deliverance. Read it before again.
that he would grant unto us that we have been delivered out of the hands of our enemies, might serve him without fear.
And that's the end part of the deliverance. That we've been delivered out of the hands of those that hate us, and then come back and serve him without fear.
And that goes into that Jeremiah 50 and 33. That's him giving us rest. Right?
And to limit it back off of that, let's go to Psalms 44:4.
The book of Psalms, chapter 44, verse 4. Thou art my king, O God. Command deliverance for Jacob.
Command deliverance for Jacob. This is the contest. Go ahead.
Through thee will he push down our enemies.
You gonna do what?
Through thee will he push down our enemies.
Uh-huh.
Through thy name will he tread them under that which rise up against us. For I would not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me.
Can't trust in ourselves. The only way we're gonna get out of this mess is the Most High. Go ahead.
But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hated us.
Uh-huh.
And God, we boast all the day long, and praise thy name forever. Salah.
That's the thing about it. It's not up to us. The Most High gonna do this thing so he can get the glory out of this thing. That's the same thing he was talking about in Luke 1:68-74. Anything?
What else we got?
Do the king was saying, can you go into I know he was asking about what verse says he drinketh up the lakes. That's in Job chapter 40 about Bohemian. Going into the land dinosaurs.
Yeah, Job chapter 40.
Can you go
Verse 23. Job chapter 40 and verse 23.
The book of Job, chapter 40, verse 23. Behold, he drinketh up a river, and hasted it not. He trusted that he can draw up Jordan into his mouth. He taketh it with his eye. His nose pierceth through snares.
This is going into the land dinosaurs, mainly a brontosaurus. You know how big they are. A group of dinosaurs, a group of brontosauruses. Like the Most High God is letting us know, this is not no regular damn animal. It literally drank up the Jordan River. So this is how we know. Because Christian commentaries, they'll say that this is a hippopotamus or an elephant. No damn elephant got no tail like a cedar tree. You know, they got, hippopotamus either.
He said, can you go into the animals that eat vegetables in heaven?
Yeah, Isaiah 11.
Where does it go into?
Isaiah 11 in chapter 6. Verse 6. 11 and 6.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 6. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the king, and the calf and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall feed their young ones. The young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox.
Meaning what? When everything is back in order, everything's going to be back in order, even the animals as well. So it's showing you that they're going to go back to a plant-based diet.
Yeah. And they don't have to eat animals, they're gonna be carnivores, so they're gonna be hunting each other. Carnivorous, I say carnivores.
But you gotta also think the Lord put the spirit, the Lord gonna put the spirit on all animals. That ain't the first time the Lord put the spirit on all animals. What's the first time the Lord put the spirit on all animals?
Lord.
In Noah. Guess what? Why you think they went on the boat battling and fighting each other? Right?
When Adam named the animals, that's supposed to be for them to order.
That was at the beginning, man. I mean, everything gonna be in order at the beginning. We gotta think about a baby. Is a baby in order at the beginning, or it's just gonna just break the law right at the top? Hell no, it's not gonna be in order, bro. Went into the two. What's this one? I'm looking for the one that says the Lord put the spirit on the animals. I'm looking for the precept. The Lord put the spirit on the animal. No, the Lord put the breath, breathe into the animal. Anybody know?
Let me get this one while you're looking for it. Let's go to Hosea chapter 2, verse 18 right quick while I can look for that. Hosea chapter 2, verse 18. This is a precept that y'all can precept with Isaiah 11 and 5 for a second witness. When you get there, read that out. Yeah, Hosea 2 and 18. Talk about that.
The book of Hosea, chapter 2, verse 18.
No, go ahead. 2 and 18. Yeah.
Hosea, chapter 2, verse 18. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field.
With the what?
With the beasts of the field.
Read on out.
And with the fowls of heaven. And with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth. And will make them to lie down safe.
And will do what?
And will make them to lie down safe.
So he's going to make a covenant with the animals of the field. Meaning what? Animals are going to be back in order. Like oxen have the spirit of the Lord not to what? Not to attack us. To be perfectly in order, man. That's why you had a bear being able to dwell with the lamb. A kid being able to play with cockatrices, meaning snakes. And all these. A young kid guiding a lion. So.
Uh, 7 and 15. Yeah.
Oh, praise God. I got this little underline too.
See, too. You can read it. Yeah, so we got
It's like I know it's between 6 or 7. Huh? 7 and 15. Read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 15. And they went into Noah, into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life.
Right. So meaning the Lord put the breath of life on the animals. Why? So they can put them up under subjection and up under obedience. Right? Gave them what? Just like he gave Adam, he gave them commandments. He gave them animals commandments. Hey, no, y'all can't eat each other on this boat. He gave them the commandment right there. No.
I got a question right quick. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 8. John chapter 8. Start at verse 3.
book of St. John, chapter 8, verse 3. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act.
In the what?
In the very act.
Read on up.
Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou?
Well, what sayest thou? Read on up.
This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him.
Read on.
But Yahushua stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not.
Read on up.
So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her.
Can any brother kind of give understanding what is that going on? Why did Christ do that? Do any brother know? What you think?
I think you read their mind.
Yeah, that's one of them, but more into the text. We know he got spiritual power. What you think? Say it again.
To exercise mercy.
Yeah, he did, but who? Go ahead. What you say, Ezekiel? How was they hypocrites? Remember.
They were saying, do not.
Hold up, go ahead.
Was it because they was teaching the law but not living according to the law?
That's part of it. But remember, she was taken in adultery. What is adultery? Who? Is it just one person or two people? So why didn't they call the what? The man.
Not only that, then not only that,
So they said it was the woman that was committed.
But, yeah, they brought the woman, but they didn't bring the who.
man.
They didn't bring
They didn't bring the man. So that's what? Unjust judgment.
Oh, okay.
Y'all understand that?
Yeah,
sisters?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
there had to be two more witnesses, meaning they had to catch them in the act also.
And Psalm 39 and 9 go perfect with that thing too. Read that.
So who
Psalm
knows
39 and 9.
that caught them in the act? Who's the one that witnessed it?
That's a great point, boy. Watch Psalm 39 and 9.
The book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 9.
39 and 9.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. The book of Psalms, chapter 39, verse 9.
Bring it out.
I was dumb, I opened not my mouth, because thou didst it.
Because what?
Because thou didst it.
Because thou didst it. Y'all coming to me to get on this system, but it was probably one of you Negroes that was doing the adultery. Thou didst it, man. Y'all ain't gonna bring yourselves up to the mercy seat, right?
They gonna tell them themselves.
Damn, nah, you gonna tell on yourself. Thou didst it, man. That's a tough,
That is.
tough precept, man.
Let's get the law now. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. Because everything always does what? It reverts back to the law. Let's see what the law says on how you handle adultery. You get that, read that out.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 10. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress,
Read it again.
the adulterer and the adulteress
Read
shall
on.
surely be put to death.
Shall surely be what?
Be put to death.
So they should have did what? Brought the brother and the sister. Not just bring the sister. You know, and that's one thing as brothers start to come up in the ranks to be able to what? Judge righteously. You don't want to just get on one party because they may look out for you or do certain things and you kind of fond of that person. No. If a sister is going off, you bring the same judgment as you would with a what? With a brother that's going off. There's no partiality in what? In judgment. And that's what Christ, I was like, nah, I ain't gonna be bothering with them, man. Because I'm already knowing they're coming unjust. What you got out?
Is that the same spirit like the elders in history of Susanna?
Oh, yes.
for sure.
That's the same exact
For
spirit.
sure.
Sister Naomi, what do you have, sis?
So, a lot of people are men and want to be with another, like, a woman that's very
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Hey, I'm I'm gonna tell you, certain camps teach otherwise.
Right.
We don't. Hey, we go by what the scriptures say. So, a married man sleeping with a cheating off on his wife, that's adultery. A married man and a married wife that sleep together, that's adultery. So the thing is, even with brothers that go with multiple wives, you have to let her know you just can't go and just sleep with whoever the hell you want to. We don't believe in that. Certain camps teach that, so y'all have to be careful with that.
That right there will cause a problem because certain camps do teach that you can just hear it, man. Me go and involve everybody in the congregation.
That's right. That men cannot keep.
Men can't commit adultery.
Thanks, sir.
But that's a damn lie.
That's why it literally said the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
It's in Mark too.
So, showing you that a man can commit adultery. Just can't go around and sleep with whoever the hell you want to. Nigga, that's fornication.
That's what I said. It's a complication.
It's sexual. What's in Mark? It's in Mark too.
Mark 10.
Mark 10. Go to Mark 10. 10 what?
I think like 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark 10. Start at verse 4.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 10, verse 4. And they said, Moses suffered to write a bill of divorcement and put her away. And Yahweh answered and said unto them, for the hardness of your heart, he wrote you this precept. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. So then there are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. And in the house of his disciples asked him again of the same matter. And he said unto them, whosoever shall put away his wife and marry another, committed adultery against her. And if a woman shall put away her husband,
you see how they go both ways.
It said, whosoever shall put away
It
his wife.
said the man. Now it's talking about the woman. Right? Read.
and if the woman shall put away her husband and be married to another, she committed adultery.
So the man can commit adultery and the woman can too. They made it plain.
I know Cynthia Posey said, explain 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 3 through 12. Who is this talking to, man or woman? 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 3 through 12.
Spiritual gift.
First Corinthians chapter 3, verse 3 through 12.
12.
Yeah, 12 verses 3 through 12.
Chapter 12.
Yeah.
So who's it talking about? What? Man?
You just
Man
asked
or
to
woman?
explain. Yeah. Who is
It's
it
a
talking
female,
to,
it's a female, so
man or woman?
let's try to go into
Do men and women have these gifts as well, basically?
basically can a woman teach what does it do and teach? Or job is teach.
Or
Or
we
wrong.
talking like with Acts chapter.
Yeah, that's like an act. Yeah. Read it up.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 3. Wherefore I give to you understand. Wherefore I give to you to understand that no man speaketh by the Spirit of God, calleth Yahushua accursed, and that no man can say that Yahushua is the Lord, but by the Holy Ghost.
Look, we broke this scripture down. I think last Monday we went into this. Most know how to break that down if you watch the class. Right? Read.
Verse 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God, which worketh in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal.
So,
Keep going.
it just told you. It said to every man. It just told you.
In the 11th verse.
He just said to every man. I mean,
Keep reading.
Keep reading.
Verse 8, for to one is given by the Spirit of the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles.
So I'm gonna tell you, each a male and a female can have those traits, but the thing is, you want to make sure, hey, sisters is not stepping outside in order.
Because they give you order what y'all can
This
and
they cannot
do.
do.
That's right. The class going to a prophet
That's
teaching
right.
order. Because go to Acts. Let's go to Acts. Let's go to Acts 2:17.
you're coming back, right?
Yeah. Because this is where she's trying to get it from.
And I think brothers and sisters that's in class, don't be afraid to ask no questions, man. Because a lot of times y'all be afraid, then y'all go all week long, then y'all start asking brothers and they can't answer your question, or ask sisters they can't answer your question, then you start going out. It makes no sense.
Now I know if Brother Lance, you watching, hey, you missed the perfect day to come to class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ask as many questions as you want.
You take that at home.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Lord, keep that hawk eye on you, brother. Hey.
Acts 2:17.
Oh, okay. The book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 17.
Bring it out.
It shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh,
Read.
and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and their young men shall see visions,
So read on.
and your old men shall dream dreams.
So is this a lie? No, you just gotta find the order in this truth. It said your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, right? What is the order of the daughters prophesying? Go to Titus. Everybody know it's go to Titus. Where else? What is Titus? Who else? Where else? What's the precept? All praise. What precept did he do? Let's go to Titus right quick.
Like we said, I'm gonna tell y'all certain precepts we expect brothers to know. We ain't asking deep shit up here, man. I got to say it like that because I want brothers to understand the seriousness of it, man. Pray, like for real. That come with a lack of studying too, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, for real though. Like certain things we expect, because certain precepts we go over and drill brothers over and over and over again, man.
You can throw that three.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 3. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holy,
So behavior and being a prophet, right? Read.
not false accusers, not giving too much wine,
Not false accusers, talking, like I can always talk about business with Benita, right? Not false accusers, not drinking too much wine. Read.
teachers of good things,
Teachers of what?
teachers of good things,
Good things, which is the law, right? Read.
that they may teach the young women,
Who should they be teaching?
that they may teach the young women.
That they should teach the young women. The Lord said He's gonna pour out His Spirit on women to prophesy. They should be prophesying, teaching the younger women how to be wives, right?
Hey, hold on. I want you to finish that. I'm going to ask a question after you.
Read on.
That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children,
Read on.
to be discreet, chaste keepers at home, good, obedient to their own
And
husbands.
I'm gonna tell you, a lot of sisters think that shit all right to go on Facebook and online and shit be teaching. That's not. According to the scriptures, say be discreet. Keep us at home, right?
Keep us at home.
I see so many.
I noticed your question, Sister Monica. He's literally asking that thing. Pay attention, sis. It's literally telling you because she got another question. Saying the same thing, like, sis, He's literally breaking it down, sis. Go ahead, Op.
That's right. It said being discreet. I'm gonna tell you, I be on that on my social media sometimes. A lot of times I get classes from them because people are always talking about this and that, going into this. But I see women doing so much damn teaching on there, man. I'm talking about it don't matter what you talking about, man. The Bible tells the woman to be discreet, keep us at home, man. This scripture right here cut that up for me. I don't know how other people look at this thing, but that cuts that up. Women should not be in front of no audience like that, right? And it's not to take away from any woman, man. It's to keep it in order to what the Bible is saying. Go ahead.
And a lot of times when sisters they wrap their mind around thinking that the teaching thing, man. But if you decide to be a teacher, then how can you have a husband? Who go? I guess you gonna teach him too. This is something that we got to get our mind wrapped around, man. See, you got to want to be, because the thing is, about a woman, she should be wanting to get what? She should be wanting to be led. But if you the leader, then how the hell you supposed to get led? Right?
We just that's that. Like I said, we just supposed to fix plates. All right.
No, you're supposed to do the service of God.
No
Now
doubt.
our hands fix plates.
If you doing the service of God, guess what? You preparing yourself to have a husband. If you're doing the service of God, you preparing yourself to get into the kingdom. What you think? If your house child come up in here and he tell you to fix some damn plates, you think you gonna run your damn mouth, or you gonna get your ass up fix some damn plates?
You gonna fix some damn plates.
Or you gonna fix your ass to the lake of fire? That's
So
where your
what
ass
is
gonna be going.
what is we when we fix the place then?
Right.
We did it before too.
So we get up and do it too.
Hold up, read verse 5. The scriptures is telling you
Yeah,
your
that's
role.
what I'm saying. Keep that
Now
up.
the thing is, sisters don't like the role that God has given them.
Like
Like
we were talking about earlier, they lie.
Because
Like they lie.
because the thing is, if you go outside your role, it's going to blasphemy. And like I'm saying, say it plain. Read verse 5.
Titus 2 and 5 from the top. To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home.
Read it again.
Keepers at home.
Read it one more time.
Keepers at home.
Now we know that, guess what, we're in captivity. Some men may have a job to where they can afford to pay all the bills. And that's fine. To where they wife, and I'm pretty sure a wife would love to just stay at home and do that in her role. But in this captivity, sometimes it takes two people to, guess what, provide for a family. That still does not negate what a woman's job is according to the Bible.
Right. And read that, because the last point is the part that we need to get in our minds, man. Men and women need to get this part in their mind. Read that.
Keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husband.
Read.
That the word of God be not blasphemed.
You see how they go? That the word of God be not blasphemed.
Doing everything in the order that the Most High set it up in.
Because guess what? When you go outside that order, you're taking a chance of just going into blasphemy. You taking a chance every you rolling the dice with it. Let's not roll the dice. A lot of times you want to straddle the line. No, do your job. Guess what? The Lord gonna make him do his job too. You might not do it. You know, he might not make him do a job today. He might not make him do it tomorrow, but he will do it. Right?
What's a good scripture of a woman prophesying in the Bible? One of the most famous ones. Proverbs 31. And go to 1 and just let's read that. And see, that's what a lot of women use when they're looking at a lot of their characters and stuff. That lady's prophesying right there, but who is she prophesying to? Her son. They the teachers at home, right? That's what they're supposed to be doing. Teaching their sons how to be husband and teaching their son how to look out to find a good wife.
Sister Monica, if you're watching, Sister Cynthia, hey, he's giving you examples as well, too. Write these things down. Don't go outside your role or what the Bible gives you. That's where you start to have problems. That's where masculine spirits start to jump on sisters, man. Do what the Bible say do. Hey, nothing in or outside of that. And it's simple.
Because guess what? When we can make it plain to y'all, no man want no tough ass woman.
They don't, man.
No,
They
I
just
don't know nobody want no tough ass woman, man.
Like
I don't. That's just plain, man.
You know, hey, you know how I
See a
feel.
punk ass nigga too, man.
Big Della Reese off of goddamn Harlem Nights. Hey, nigga, you hit like a bee and a square up. Don't no brother want to deal with that, man.
No.
You know what? Unless he can't fight, and he might need his woman to help him fight or something, man. I don't know, man. Some people
I mean,
Hold up. But then you're gonna get like Eddie Murphy, gonna pop your ass in the toe.
But you know what?
Hey,
But it's
let's stop playing.
but it's laws against that, because if she help you fight, and guess what? And you grab somebody's top stone, man, she in sin again,
Chop her hand off.
And now here it is.
right? So
He's supposed to be strong enough to handle a woman like me.
For real.
Nobody want to handle a woman. I don't want to. I gotta handle this damn job. And you talking about handle you when I get home? No.
won't we be good to each other? Won't we do that, man? Won't us just be happy, man, and be to these scriptures and be
And
good,
do what
man,
God
and
say.
do what God say, man. Right? Let's just do that.
I got
Hold on. That would be bringing out this Proverbs 31.
Yeah. Look that from the top.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 1. The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him.
That is what?
That his mother taught him.
The prophecy that, and she doing it in order, right?
That's right.
She's speaking prophecy, but to who? Not her husband. To who? Her son. And then what is she teaching her son? To watch out for these wicked ass women that be out there.
And it gives you, look, verse 2.
What my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vow.
Uh-huh.
Give not thy strength unto women.
His mama told him this. His mama told him this. His mama told him this.
Prophesy this.
And this is what the mama saying to him, right?
Don't give it to her.
Right.
Even though it ain't no woman power thing. She ain't on that woman power
She ain't.
stuff.
She just,
Oh, our women, no, she tell them straight off the top. Don't give your woman over to, don't give your power to another woman, which got other scripture that back that up. Go ahead.
Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
What?
destroy
Kings.
Because it's also scriptures to back that up.
So-
Women brought down nations before.
Yeah,
And if you give your power over to her, guess what? You ain't nothing to bring down. You just one person.
because
They
guess,
brought down kingdom.
and guess what? So she basically telling him to do what? Stand up like a man.
Exactly.
Keep the commandments, guide your household.
Second King.
Do what you're supposed to do, man. Right? This is what she trying to help him out. Guess what, man? If she's to keep it at home, guess what? She know her role, and she know, guess what? If she know her role, she should know his role too. Right? Yo, Guess what? Because guess what? Y'all women should be able to hold us to the fire on something too. If we doing this wrong, y'all should be able to hold us to the fire. Guess what? If something going wrong in our life, guess what? We gonna have God wants us to question, Lord, why is this happening? To explain to me, you God, you said you control all things. Hey, why am I going through this? Show me what I need to know. Same woman, a woman can hold us to those standards too, right? They can hold us to those standards, man. Especially if they're doing it in righteousness, right? And I know back and forth arguing because we ain't gonna say no more than what each other gonna say, right? Sister, you got a question? Come on with it.
So where is the thin line between teaching and exhorting? As a sister, like I see one of my sisters like going through hard times, and I like give her scriptures, something that helps me. Would that be considered teaching?
No, that's considered a good thing.
That's right. That's within the guidelines of Titus 2.
That's a blessing.
Teacher of good things. Teacher of
a good thing.
And
You know
you
what?
teaching not another man. You teaching.
No, but even in that, my brother going through something. Guess what? Well, he'll be all right, man. You know, such and such said this, so you'll be okay.
Right. Exhorting.
Exhorting, you
not-
exhorting it. Guess what?
Yeah,
You're giving them a couple scriptures to exhort them. Guess what? You can exhort a brother too.
And
Hey,
you ain't
brother,
breaking them down.
you ain't going in here just hey, brother, go to the Bible and break this down to you. No, you shoot them a couple scriptures, man. Guess what? Sometimes, well, husband got a wife and husband they together, and the wife, guess what? See her husband going through something. She shoot him a couple scriptures. Guess what? Help pick him up. What's wrong with that?
My wife just texted me a couple of scriptures today that I just gave y'all.
Right? What's wrong with that?
So teaching would be like you said.
Let me show you something right quick.
Let me show you something. Break this because
Let me show
you ain't
you.
got no beard on. Let me go ahead and break this down for you. Right? No,
Let me show you something right
So
quick.
you got to have a beard
come
on.
on, man. We got to have when we read the Bible. We got to read the Bible with sense. Don't keep it spiritual. Come on, man. We can't just go carnal minded on something, man. Oh, a woman can't tell me. No, if you going through some shit, hey, and she can shoot you a couple scriptures to help you out. She help him out.
And then not only that, when a lot of times when you're in the spirit, you're not going off your emotions. You're going off what the spirit has got, and the spirit is just, hey, that's what he needs.
That's right.
Instead of going off your emotion. Well, you shouldn't be like, cause man, you feeling what he's talking about. Now you going off your emotions. No, you going off the spirit. To stay out of going off your emotions. Because if you go off your emotions, they ain't gonna tell you what you're gonna do.
But that's why the Lord said a man over the congregation. Because I don't think women can go without using emotions.
Yeah.
I've
Because
never
it's in them. And
You
like I
don't
said,
think
I've never
they can't.
I've never seen
It's
this.
in your face.
Sisters, it is what it is.
It's in y'all, and I told y'all,
I've never
and I
seen
gave
it in
y'all
my
reason why y'all have them.
39
reason
years,
for
I've
that.
never seen women not use emotions in any kind of situation.
Prime example. Like we always get an example. Y'all notice how we get the same example, the home men, the point. You got a sister that's over king. She get on her cycle, kill every goddamn body. I don't give a damn. Just give me my pill, servant. I don't give a damn what y'all do. Kill them all. Like,
And
what the hell?
no.
They do what they do.
And
Don't bother me right now.
and they could sign that paper right there. And y'all hold them grudges for years.
Yeah.
We signed that article with my bad, my arm long.
I know, but I'm gonna read this big ass thing. Come my word.
But y'all signed a contract with Russia at this time. But in your head, y'all still got that grudge like y'all hold for a long time. It'll be 20 years later. Blow them up. But now I got a chance, you know, and that's the thing about it. Most I said, he gave us those things for a reason. Like I said, I gave y'all some of them before of why y'all have emotions. Because y'all mourn, y'all got children.
Y'all know the main reason. My bad. Y'all know the main reason why a woman can't leave, and she never let go of nothing.
Exactly, that's what I said.
She never let go of nothing. She might have forgave you, but she ain't let go of a damn thing.
Yeah.
A woman ain't gonna let go of nothing. It be 20 years down the road. You be sitting them, y'all be chilling. Hey, you remember you did this to me? I'm like, girl, what the hell you talking about, man? Oh no, this was back when we was back in 2001. I'm like, what the hell is that coming from? I'm sitting up here watching TV, ain't got none of this on my mind. But guess what? Because she never stopped thinking. She always thinking about something all the time. All the time. And you can think it's a joke if you want to. She just pop up with some questions. You be like, girl, what the hell are you talking about, man? You sitting up here chilling. She got all this stuff on her mind. You don't even know what the hell she got going because that's the way she operates. She operates like that. Hold on, we're gonna get all y'all first, but get all y'all because sis got another. You got another question?
I have 2 more.
Okay, go ahead.
So, when they was gonna crucify Christ, and they told what the time of Mary's cross, Sarah's cross. So we understand that he wasn't hung on the cross, hung on the tree. So is it just like a similitude, like go through what he finna go
Yeah,
through?
go through. Yeah. Just take on your responsibility, man. This is your job. It's your lot.
Long suffering.
Take your life.
And we got what he said, that long suffering is what we got to go through. Long suffering while we're in this captivity right now. Like the brother brought out earlier, your credit score we got to deal with. Stuff you got to deal with through captivity. Especially staying out of this world. That's killing yourself every day. Because, man, like, so there'd be a lot of times you'd be like, man, they look like they're having fun like them. Or they just doing stuff that the world do that we in our own world. We literally separated from the world.
That's right. What you got, sis?
Okay, so I met this Israelite sister, and this is like maybe one of 3 or 4 out of 5. But she in a situation of polygamy. She said polygamy is marriage. It's been like 3 or 4 years ago. And she was saying how she came into the truth because she met this guy who was in the truth. And she got into a situation because he told her, yeah, you know, now that we've been together, now we're married. And she felt obligated to stay. She's been in it like a year. And then my question was, and they're not under any elders, nothing. She's visible. She got sister wives, this, that, and the third. And she's like one left, and she's got to fit. So I didn't know any of this, and I met this guy. What would be the recourse for that? Something like that, because I'm saying this happens a lot in Israel, where the men are in the truth and the ladies are Eve.
It's really nothing you can do. That's why we tell brothers and sisters to do what?
Properly.
Say it again.
Proper.
Prove a friend.
Properly.
Hold up. Because I already know. It takes time to get to know people. People think you can know people even in a year. A lot of times I'm gonna tell you, sisters see the warning signs and still don't do nothing.
And yeah.
This is not nothing that the Most High God don't reveal to them. I guarantee you, sister, she's seen some signs of that brother.
And get
And
what?
she got to take on her responsibility for her choices that she has made. And it ain't no excuse. When I was in the world, and that's what they use, but it's the choice that they still made. Even when you was in the world, you're making a whole lot of bad choices. But y'all blame the nigga for everything.
Go ahead and clarify, sis.
Say she met the dude.
Before I took after two.
She wasn't in the truth. He was. That's the caveat. She just meet this dude and they hook up. And they tell the law say, we lay together now. And she wants to do right, like, okay, I like you, all right, well, I'm here. She wasn't in the truth.
It still goes to the
And
simple
they don't know what proof it is.
It still goes to the simple fact. At the end of the day, brothers and sisters, got what? Common sense.
That's what I said. Responsible.
At the end of the day, I know we want to try to help our people in certain. A lot of times they put themselves in that situation.
And they knew what they were getting.
And they knew what they was getting into. Hold up. She probably wanted a man. See all the good things that come with it, but if you're not properly proving it, man, you just gonna get a nigga a lot of the time. And if she's not reading the scriptures for herself, it's nothing you can do in that situation.
And whether she was in the truth or not in the truth, whose responsibility was when she had sex with that man?
So this is my question. So
What responsibility it was though?
So she gets with the guy.
Whose responsibility is it when she got with that guy, laid with that man?
It's her responsibility.
It's her responsibility.
Because he ain't take it. If he ain't take it, it's her responsibility.
It's her.
So if she did, she wouldn't be wrong. That's what I'm asking.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, like we say, remember, it's a lot of variables that go with this. Sis. Like we say, certain camps teach that sex is marriage. We at Battle Axe say that's part of the finishing process. So we will first have to understand that. That's why we tell brothers and sisters, not all camps teach the same. So wherever that brother was going, he may have learned that from that particular camp.
And I'm gonna explain something to you too. Ain't no woman gonna tell you all they did.
I was just gonna say,
They not.
You ain't getting the whole story.
Not. Because guess what? It got to be more parts of that.
And you're not getting the whole story.
Guess what, man? She might, hey, she had to cover your ears. She just might like the thing or something. Just
she ain't gonna say that.
And she don't want to get a thing up. I'm just being real.
One thing we should have learned.
She might tell you one thing, but guess what? That's just for real. She just might like it thing or something.
Sometimes people come to other people with things because they want to have somebody to agree with what they want to do.
You got about 4 people.
So a lot of times they'll tell you what you want to hear to see if you agree with, and have an excuse to get out of whatever they in. But that's not the case with this Bible. The Bible tells you in this, you got into this.
Hey, bro, hold down, man. Hold on now. Come on, man.
I got to have a little more.
Come on, y'all.
Stay in order.
Come on, man. Not tell make me y'all don't know how to have no damn whisper. Don't be out there, man, doing that. Have y'all niggas know how to whisper, don't know how to whisper anyway.
Like
we tell sister, even like that, with situations like that, understand first, then review. In situations, the best thing that you can do is try to do what? Get them counseling. That's the best thing. Because in order to make a righteous judgment, we got to know both parts. You can never judge a matter just by one part. You always got to hear both sides.
I have a precept.
Hold on. Because she ain't finished.
What I was gonna say, I actually encouraged her to
You got it.
probably need to watch some lessons because I said let's talk about this or something, to get rid of them or something or whatever. She said he don't really just random guys he talks to, but he's not under any elders. And so I said, hey, maybe you watch. I don't know.
Do we teach her the scriptures?
She said one of the things he does do, like a lot of them are working, and like if they're angry or talk to him or something, it's like she said it's real complicated. Like,
So she ain't she in just a polygamy relationship. She not in no truth really. I mean that's not the truth.
Yeah.
Because if like you say, that just we ain't got all the stories, so we can't just go with
Judge,
that.
yeah.
Judge, that's too broad of a thing. You know, we'll get ourselves in condemnation because we done gave judgment on something that we don't even know nothing about like that.
And I noticed a lot of the women that get into these things, it's always with a guy that's not with a camp. It's a guy that say they Israelites, they never really be with a camp,
Right.
and they don't want to be with a camp because then you got people that say you're wrong.
Right.
They don't want to be told wrong.
And so
But like he said, silly women.
That's right.
Laden with iniquity, and they will be. That's where the men come in at. They looking for. Oh, hold on, got one. Only thing we can do right now is tell our people don't get caught up in that.
That's right.
As far as that situation goes, that's something she should have dealt with before she even got in it.
That's right.
Now she in it, and I can promise you, she knew what she was getting into.
It's always
You might didn't hear it, but I promise you, she knew. She seen what was going on. She know there was other women around.
Because I say the same thing. A lot of these sisters that have a baby by a no good man, you knew his ass was no good when you laid down with him. So guys, let's stop playing the game because a lot of these women get with these men, they know these men ain't no goddamn good. You like that thing. That's all that be. And guess what? And now you caught up in that rapture. Now everything you doing, you just putting up with. That just make it plain.
That's what they say.
Y'all can't game women's intuition.
You ain't got tricked them.
Women's intuition. I got women's intuition, but then your intuition didn't work with them 7 niggas that you did.
Yeah, it didn't work.
So you can't claim I got women's intuition, but then your intuition just turned. You didn't have it on when you met him.
Lil Ray, what you got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fun night. That's what when y'all was celebrating, a woman can give a man like precept. That's good enough. Yeah. But what would be considered as a woman teaching?
That's similar to what Sister was saying. Now the thing is, where she go outside of, like we say, just trying to exhort or give a precept, like she literally, like what I said, no, this precept go with this precept. Read that. Let me show you something.
Let me show you something right quick. Go to
Instead
Proverbs.
of just giving a quick
31.
precept to exhort her.
There's a lot of them.
So basically, what this going into, like he said, if the sister give you a precept, okay, if you down and out, guess what? She give you Sirach, chapter 3, chapter 2.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, man, I know you're going to just read Sirach chapter
That's
2.
good exhortation.
That's exhort, man.
That's exhortation.
How do you exhort better than the precept?
That's right.
Right? You exhort with the precept. So if she giving you a precept to exhort you, that man, there's nothing wrong with it. That is how we exhort each other. Right? So much the more.
Yeah, she going into, hey, now you precept verse 2.
Yeah.
James chapter 2 verse 3. Then you go back over her precept that 1 John chapter 5 verse 3. And she didn't have to stop.
Just get a pad out, brother. Let me show you something right quick.
And it's a spirit that be on too. They giving you anything.
Like, hold on, what you say that precept was?
Damn, that's bad. Damn, I'm good at precepts, man.
She teaches.
For real.
Broke your ass off in there. What you got, Big Ray? Hold on.
144. That's right.
That's right.
So is it like do they got a role in the thing? Like,
Yeah, that's right. Let's get that. That's right. They gonna be the military and the government on the planet Earth.
Yeah, imagine all the territory you see now, they gonna be there.
But
Running things.
do they live normal or is it gonna be like
Like, will they have families and so?
yeah.
Now the Bible doesn't get explicit, but I'm pretty sure that they will. They still have their job.
They are men.
That's right.
They are men. They ain't like they some discount. They are. It's 144,000 out of this tribe, 144,000 out of that tribe. It ain't good. Yeah, 12,000. I'm talking. Yeah, I'm sorry. 12,000 out of each tribe. They are men. They are us. They are.
He was
just
asking.
like one of us.
Hold on, Maggie.
Brother Ray was asking, is the 44,000 basically what is the role of the 144,000? That's what he was asking. What is the role of the 144,000? Let's get part of their role. Yes, that was the question.
Question is, what is the role of
What is the role of the 144,000?
What's their job?
What's going to be their job?
What would they be doing?
That's right. But also to be the military and also to be the what? The government of Christ. To set up order on the planet Earth. That's right.
So they're gonna be the, guess what? They're gonna be the government, the police,
That's right.
executor,
That's right.
prosecutor, defender.
That's right. Military, all that. Let's prove that. Let's go to one I can just think of real quick. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 22.
You see 144 come knocking at the door. Hey, boy. I ain't gonna tell you, they ain't gonna knock no more. You better come on to the door. You come in. They don't need no warrant.
21.
No doubt. They know what you did.
When you get that, read that out.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 21. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau.
Read that again out.
And saviors.
And who?
And saviors.
And who?
And saviors.
Brothers can infer through the scriptures that it's going into who is these saviors? 144,000. And saviors. This, because even in the context, we know Esau is going to be what? Judged in the end. That's why it's very important that brothers would be able to read the scriptures and discern and understand chronology, the ordering of prophecies in the scriptures. We know it, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau. We know various precepts showing that Esau is going to be what? Judged in the end. So who are these saviors? That's what brothers can pull from these things. Read on.
And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord.
And this, we know this is going into what? The end times, because it said, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. So we see like what Ox said, going into Judges.
Go to Revelation chapter 14.
Yeah,
I just
14 and 1. 1 through 5.
Read it on down, yeah.
Revelation 11.
Whatever Yahweh Shai gonna be saying, they gonna do. They gonna execute.
That's right.
I knew what it was. I just asked, so I used to, like, when I was way younger, I used to pray, like, pray to people to the I didn't know how to pray.
Yeah.
So I just
Oh, praise. And shoot, now you have the precepts with that thing.
And let the Jehovah's Witness stand. They know 144,000.
Yeah.
If I knew I was 104,000, I ain't going to nobody
Man,
else.
and I'm telling y'all,
Yeah, nobody else. Yeah, it better move me out my position.
man, I'm gonna tell you, back before I got in the truth, back when I was a little boy, somebody, I guess one of my mama friends had said that, she was a Jehovah's Witness. She said, ain't no one 144 gonna make it there. I said, shit, I was looking at little kid. All this shit I did, I was like, hey, I ain't gonna make it.
Exactly.
I'm like, well, keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, when I first heard that, that's the first thing I said. I asked
He said,
that,
144, what's all these people in the world?
and I said, why y'all going door to door? So if I knew that's all that's making it to the kingdom, I'm gonna go tell somebody else. Yeah, I mean, I ain't telling nobody. I ain't telling nobody.
Climb to the top and hide the spot, ain't it, man?
Might be the 143rd. No.
Read that out.
Revelation 14:1.
The book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion. And with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their forehead.
So right now you see the 144 standing with who? With Christ, read.
And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as a voice of great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers, harping with the harp.
Yep.
And they sung it as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts, and the elders, and no man could learn that song, but the 144,000.
See that?
Which
So they go be excluded from. They're gonna have a different. It's a difference, right?
Mhm.
Read on.
which were redeemed from the earth.
The elders, the 24 elders. Go
Read
ahead.
on.
These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
You see that? They follow Christ wherever Christ go. They would. Hey, right? Read on.
Hold on, read verse 4 again.
Verse 4, these are they which were not defiled with women.
What does that mean? Go ahead, brother.
They were defiled with idols.
That's right. What's the proof of that?
Well,
Yes. Going into philosophies, going into doctrines. Not that they, because you heard that from Christians. Brother, are you a virgin? No, I'm not. Well, you can't be a 144,000. Like, sister, get the hell out of here. That's not what they're talking about. They're just going into doctrines and philosophies. Because guess what? Who had a wife? Peter had a wife. Hey, Christ said he's going to be ruling with him. So, go ahead, Doc.
Also, we can go precept 2 Corinthians 11 and 2. Us should have more precepts than that. What else one got? 11 and 2.
I got it right. 3 and 4.
Numbers 25, the word. Amos 5 and 2.
Okay. I was just waiting.
Oh yeah.
Revelations 14 and 4 from the top. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men.
From what?
These were redeemed from among men,
This is a difference between the 144 readings.
being the first fruits unto God and unto the Lamb.
Read 5.
Verse 5, and in our mouth was found no God, for they are without fault before the throne of God.
So this is so the difference between what the 144 is. Like we follow the Lamb, Christ when we go, right?
And they're going to be found without fault before God.
That's right.
They're going to be keeping the commandments.
I know Mama Mariah was asking, when anyone asks a woman a direct question about her faith, if she knows the answer, does she direct that man to her husband? That's right. You always, they would say it's okay. Like we always give the example. When brothers may see a sister out at the grocery store and he may inquire about her fringes, it's okay to tell him what those fringes are about. But
Right.
then sisters do what? Report that back to leader. Hey, these are the leaders' numbers. Hey, give them a call and they can explain further about what this is going into. So you always want to do what? Revert back to leader or revert back to the brother.
And guess what? And a lot of times when the men see y'all out, guess what? They looking at you, they like, damn, this is a nice looking sister, right? But you got them fringes on, guess what, man? Sister be like, yeah. She's like, oh, okay, you started the other Israelite. Then he said he want to inquire more about it. You tell him a little more about it. Guess what? And eventually the conversation can be swinging where? Like I say, towards the men. It ain't to the point that you can't tell them nothing. Hey, show them where to go to get the answer from. Right?
To get more answers.
Brother, go. You got your Bible. Go get your Bible. Go get your Bible. We finna have a little lesson right here.
Yeah.
Y'all know that's out of line.
You just tell them we got class. You come see the
Yeah, question or answer.
on such and such.
I'll give an understanding on Sirach 25, 22 to 26. I want to get a little clarification on understanding 22 to 26. Sirach 22, 25 to 26.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach.
What that mean?
Full of anger, impudence, and
Nah, from the top. If a woman maintain her husband, what does that mean?
If she maintained her husband.
What do that mean?
No,
She keeping her husband.
no, it's not control.
She maintaining her husband.
Woman is doing every damn thing.
Working,
Paying the bill. You come home, you on the game.
Yeah.
You PlayStation out when she working. Yeah, she gonna be full anger eventually.
That's right.
Because you supposed to be the damn leader.
That's right.
I'm just supposed to be a help me, not the whole me. Right? So we break it down precept by precept, right? Go ahead, read that again.
A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much
So
reproach.
sooner or later she's gonna be upset. She's gonna have anger. Right?
She the breadwinner. And you sitting on the couch playing PlayStation.
Yeah.
Verse 23, a wicked woman abated the courage, maketh a heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband is a distress.
Industry.
Oh, in distress, like in distress. Oh, a woman. So like, let me read that from the top. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, maketh weak hands and feeble knees.
What's weak hands and people need?
You can't do that.
Make him not want to get up and do something, and make him not want to have sex. People needs goes into making him not want to have sex. Right? That's what, man. She up there arguing, complaining, this and that. Guess what? He's sitting up there like, damn, man, I gotta do this anyway. Huh?
What is it you
It's a
don't
big
understand
turnoff.
about it?
It's a big turnoff.
I'm saying, what is it you don't understand about it? You said you want to understand it. What is it you don't understand about it?
Now, for him and her to be together, and he comes to the point where he feel like, okay, I can't do nothing to please this woman. Because every time I'm doing something, she always thinking about something else. She always complaining about this, and regardless how hard I try, even if I'm in the scripture, which is doing what I'm supposed to be doing, she's still nagging. So I'm just saying, what would I have to continue in that, or how would I have to?
It's your job.
You picked her. That's your responsibility. What you
You
gonna
can't
do?
say, B, get out. No, you got to deal
What's
with
your life? What you gonna do or something?
Just keep reading. I'm just saying, keep reading.
We read.
Verse 24.
Verse 24, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. Give the water no passage, neither the wicked woman liberty to gain abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest her, have her. Cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go.
We just broke that down in Mark and in Matthew chapter 19.
That because you think about it, Yahweh hadn't came, he ain't radicalized it, gave them the understanding of the scripture what was going on with Moses at that time. So I've heard people use this. I can get rid of it. No, you can't. Because Yahweh came and clarified what that means to get a divorce.
That's right.
So now at this time, this is in the Greek captivity. They were still looking at it the way Moses had presented it to them. Yahweh came and said, nope, this is what that is. So we go by what who? There we go.
That's right. So when you go back to Matthew chapter 19, man, it makes it clear. Like from the beginning, said Moses gave him a bill of divorce. Why? Because of the hardness of their heart. They were just putting women away. I don't like you no more. Hey, get out of my face, divorce. And you can do that right now.
That's real.
You can do that in this land right now. You can just go to the courthouse. Guess what? You marry your woman. You can just divorce her and never got to deal with her again.
And they said Moses was in distress. I mean, they were bothering the crap out of him about their women.
But
he said, "Hey, man, just give me a signed paper and bring it to me, and I'll get divorced."
Most like God gave him that grace period, because if not, he would have killed all of Israel.
And I'm gonna give you a news flash. I ain't say all the men, but a lot of men is on child support because guess what? They thought just like this. And they walked away and that woman stuck his ass on child support because you didn't want to deal with that mouth, right? And now you're on child support for all these years. Why? Because you didn't want to deal with it. Why? Well, I'm tired of child support. Guess what? You follow Moses in giving the bill of divorce, and so guess what happened? Christ said, "Here you go. You didn't listen to me. Take this with you."
And guess who's also has a responsibility? I said the women had that responsibility. Negroes got a responsibility too. Of what you run around sticking your thing in, and who you slaying with and saying, "This is my wife." That's your responsibility. So that's what I think about it. We both got responsibility. And the thing about it, when we go through the things that we go through, soon as something come hard, instead of taking responsibility, man or woman, we blame the other side. And we got to cut that crap out, especially you men claiming to be men. No, because some of y'all running around here claiming to be men, but act like you're 11 and 12 years old. Put your goddamn penis in your pants. Women, put your penis up.
Any other questions on that note? Any other questions, real?
I know they had them, but
Exactly, they don't got it, but they trying to act like I want to be the man. I know exactly. I know what I said. Y'all,
you know, I just been thinking about it. I know what you're talking about.
I know the answer, but since we doing it on her, I'm gonna ask a question anyway.
Go ahead.
It out the scripture also say obey the laws of the land, so a lot of people try to use that as an excuse to divorce their wife. But we know not that God's law comes before.
That's right.
Obeying the laws of the land, but just for the viewers, you know, I want y'all to.
But you already answered. God's laws over man's laws.
Well, y'all the ones on the TV. I know you on the side.
Yeah.
you're an officer to me.
Y'all on the thing, man.
I'm not on the thing, man. We just got
I'm pretty sure they heard you though.
They heard you. Guess what? God's law over man's law.
All right.
Simple it. Act 5:29. You have to obey God rather than man. Is any other questions on that thing? Brother, sister got some more questions in the building. Sister over there got a question.
First Kings 12:33, where it talks about one mission that divided.
Can you speak that up a little bit?
Oh yeah, sorry. In First Kings 12:33, where it talks about. Okay.
Y'all repeat that.
1 Kings 12:33.
I heard it.
What's the question?
Where it talks about the month which he had divided his own part, is that talking about the same thing as how we have December, creating months, it's like that months
What? Just say that again.
She said like the month, like him devising like his own heart. Is that going like into months, like November, December?
November. It's going into the 8th month of according to the way we got it. Just like when we go to it like the 7th month. This is actually supposed to be done in the 7th month, but he doing his own thing and doing it in the 8th month. That's all it's saying. That's what this is talking about. The 7th month is when we do this on the 15th day. What happens on the 15th day? What happens on the 7th month on the 15th day? What feast day is that? Feast of Tabernacles began. But they did it on the 8th month. He's doing it, and that's why I say he divides his own way. He's doing it opposite. I forget what God told me. I'm gonna do it on the 8th month. And if you go with what is that? Is that in Maccabees? Where they do it on the castle on the 9th month. Another one did the same thing. Yeah, no, that's another one. No, I'm not. No, he did. He did it his own time.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't according to what God had did. They were just, I'm gonna do it this time. I know what y'all talking about.
You understand that, sis?
Yeah, man, we went there. Man, we went over.
Yeah, it's not going into months, but he did it on the wrong time.
Any other questions out there, brothers and sisters? Oh, go ahead.
Sister Obadiah. What is the purpose of communion every Sabbath?
Yeah, 2 Corinthians, man. Her name Obadiah.
Obadiah.
That's different.
It is.
Yeah, you already know. Brother shouldn't even have to tell you that. You know it ain't there. Yeah, you already know.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 23. For I received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahushua, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me.
Read that again out.
This do in remembrance of me.
Read that again.
This do in remembrance of me.
So when we partake in breaking of the bread or the communion, we do it in remembrance of Christ.
That's right.
It's the bread representing his body, the wine representing his blood that he spilled for us. That's right. We don't.
After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as often as he drink in remembrance of me.
So when we partake in these things, we're doing it in remembrance of Yahushua.
That's right.
What he did, the sacrifices he made for us. We don't know.
For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup,
Said what?
for as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup.
For it's often. Right? So guess what? You acknowledge him. You want to acknowledge him often. Right? Go ahead.
Ye do show the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord.
Meaning what? If you're not partaking in, guess what? The suffering that Christ did, keeping his commandments, the things that's written of him, that's what you're unworthy of the Lord. We don't know.
But let a man examine himself.
And that's
that
what,
again.
that's right.
But let a man examine himself.
And even like we do. When we partake in these things, we're doing this to do what? Examine ourselves. You want to make sure. That's right. You want to make sure that you're lining up with thus said the Lord, man. It's holding true to that.
This actually is going like into a weekly examination, right? Because say you come in here, you've been out the spirit, you've been doing some wicked stuff. I done seen brothers and sisters what decline to take it, right? This is like going into us for us is like going into a weekly examination, right? Not saying that it's a law or anything of that nature, but it's just a week. We do this as a weekly examination to examine yourself to see where you're at, right? In the spirit of the Most High. Right there.
But let a man examine himself. So let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep.
Man, look. I know, man, I typed on it. What the scalpers at, man? All week long, from Sunday all the way to Friday, scalping. There ain't no scalpers on the thing, man. When we say we want to smoke, they don't want to get there.
I know Brother Officer Yaakov was saying, is out of body experience biblical? I forgot that. It's a lot, y'all.
Yes, it's good.
We just read it. And let's go back to 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. We just read it with Brother Paul.
There's quite a few places that happen too.
Book of 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. I knew a man in Christ above 14 years ago, whether in the body I cannot tell, or whether out of the body I cannot tell.
Whether in the body or whether in the spirit. He, out of the body, he could not tell. Out of body experience. Read on.
God knoweth, such a one caught up to the third heaven.
Read on.
I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell.
Because we know Christ came to Paul in what? In visions. If you read in the book of Acts chapter 9, verse 3. Read on up.
God knoweth.
We don't.
How that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words.
So, Brother Paul was letting us know some deep things. He heard unspeakable words, man. Deep understanding that when Christ revealed himself unto him. Read on up.
Which is not lawful for a man to utter.
And that's how you know it's certain things that was deep, because he could not utter this. Told, hey, shut your mouth on these things. Don't reveal this. Even like how Moses was revealed certain secrets. Conceal these things. Declare these things and hide these things.
Also, what's that? That he took, and he was beating Daniel in the line.
Oh, the apostle. You want the one with Rebecca?
Belly
the dragon? Yeah, Belly the dragon.
It's Belly the dragon. Yeah. What's that? Belly the dragon. It's like start at verse 20. want to get to the part where he took him in, where he took him up and set him in the den.
Verse 36.
Yeah.
Start verse 33.
The book of Bill and the Dragon, chapter 1, verse 33. Therefore her friends, and all that saw her wept. Oh, no, wait. I know, I have my place. I was at the history of the destruction of Bel and the Dragon, verse number 33. Now there was a jury, a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of the Lord said unto Habakkuk, go carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know what the den is. Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den.
Now that's an out-of-battle experience for real, right? Read it.
And Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which God hath sent thee. And Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O God, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee.
You know,
so Daniel arose and did eat. And the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately.
So after he did the job that the Lord told him to do, the Lord set him back in his place immediately. Right? Being him up, man. You got beamed up in the spaceship, he got beamed up in the, hey.
Yeah.
Right?
Any more questions, man?
Any more questions, brothers? So any more questions in it?
Okay, we can move on. Okay, so.
So in 3 John 1 and 6, I'm just trying to see if that's the precept to go with Matthew 10, 1, 4, 9.
Read it right quick, right?
The third epistle of John, chapter 1, verse 6, which have borne witness of thy charity before the church, whom if thou bring forward on their journey after a godly sort, thou shalt do well. Because that for his name's sake they went forth taking nothing of the Gentiles. So you know, like how the 12 disciples, like you say, hey, don't take nothing with you, don't take the coat, none of that. Could that be a precept of that? So, like take nothing of the Gentiles, nothing like that? Or just the philosophy. Don't take nothing philosophy, right?
Yeah, that, and then I mean, just any gifts from them, anything that they have from them.
I think it's kind of going into, well, I basically touching on how that's going into philosophy, but it's also going into we were rebuilding the temple. The Lord, and they want to come in. Who wanted to come in and help us?
The other nation.
In Ezra chapter 4. Oh, you was asking a question?
Yeah.
I thought you were
I'm trying to see what God is in.
Yeah, I thought he was too.
Yeah. Ezra chapter 4. What else?
Nehemiah 2:10.
Yeah.
Nehemiah 5. I see it. I just want to know.
So tell the sisters the precept if y'all won't mind. Tell them out.
Nehemiah
2:20.
2:20. Ezra 4:3. Nehemiah 5 and 9.
Who else? Who else got a question?
I got a question.
Yeah. What's a question? I mean,
Hey, man, talk a little louder, man.
that's the question. Not it.
No.
verse 32 on that. Well, 33, 31 on that.
Read it right quick out. Say it again out.
First Corinthians 30, chapter 11, verse 31 on that.
What's your question?
Break that down.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 31. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged.
Read that again out.
For if we judge ourselves, we should not be judged.
And that's what everybody should be thinking about each and every day. Like I say, if you judging yourself according to the scriptures, in the end, you won't be judged.
Exactly. That's why and they just read it in the first one. He's talking about examine yourself, right? Whether you be in the truth or not. So a lot of times, if we go and make sure that we line up with these scriptures and we do things according to the scriptures, there's no judgment that come on you. You in the righteous. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But it's also like two sides to it too. Because if we judge ourselves, let's judge ourselves righteously.
Mm-hmm.
But if we not judging ourselves righteously, man, guess what?
You're gonna be judged.
You ain't gonna penalize. You'll never penalize yourself. You can't judge yourself.
Now we saying examine yourself whether you be in the truth or not.
You can get what? If you bump your toe, if somebody bump you with their elbow, guess what? You ready to fight. You bump yourself. Guess what? You ain't gonna say nothing to yourself. You gonna be like, dang it. Right? Oh, it hurt. But somebody else do you like that, you ain't gonna take it the same way, right?
Meaning when you correct yourself on the thing that you're doing wrong,
Right?
you won't be have to stand and take the judgment for being out of order.
It's like Christ telling one of you who had sin cancer, who had
He who has
sin, who he is. Why would I even try to get that one? Who that John?
John 8.
John 8.
He who has seen, he has a stone, first off.
Yeah, 'cause even the captains and other people around can only see so much. Like you said, don't you know your own self? You know ye.
But you see, the brothers, they didn't put themselves in. They just said, yeah, the woman committed adultery.
Yeah.
Right?
Trying to
We
get
went
a
to
call
Solomon
up.
and I said, you the one that did it, nigga.
Read down.
Y'all the one that did it.
Verse 32.
Verse 32. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. Wherefore, my brethren.
So that's why he said we put checks and balances on ourselves so we won't be condemned with the world, right?
And what it said, but when we are judged, when we do get that punishment, that's because the Lord is chastising.
Right.
Not the fact that just, he's doing that to trying to get you to stay correct.
Just like it said, so you won't be condemned with the world. It
It's
said
good.
it
You love those he chastised. You better be glad you're going through the stuff you're going through sometimes. He's
Basically,
whooping your butt.
he's saying correct yourself before we do it.
That's right. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah.
Correct yourself before I do it, because if I do it, it's gonna be much harder.
Yeah, you're gonna be condemned with the
It's
world.
gonna be harder. Yeah.
Right, read on up.
Wherefore, my brethren, when ye come together to eat, tarry one for another.
Mm-hmm.
And if any man hunger, let him eat at home.
If any man what?
If any man hunger, let him eat at home.
Because guess what, man? Just like how these scriptures be coming out, man. Guess what? It's good to commune, break bread with brothers. But brothers, this ain't no buffet. All you eat is
Mhm.
Also saying what?
Study.
Bring your ass with that old wicked ass spirit is.
Yeah. And you should be at home eating your supper, studying yourself. Don't wait till you get to class and all of a sudden y'all pulling out the Bible trying to make like y'all been reading all week.
All week, and it ain't been the case.
And ain't been there and ain't thought about this Bible till today. So he's saying, hey, you can eat at the house.
It said, you go to about time somebody came up with the scoffer. Tell me y'all, but finish it out though.
And if any man hunger, let him eat at home. That ye come not together unto condemnation. And the rest will I set in order when I come.
So guess what? That's why he's telling us, guess what, clearly. Everybody, when we come together, guess what, man? We need to be filled with the Spirit of the Lord on us, man.
Oh, Old Testament on.
Right? We need to be keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments, man. So the Lord said, when you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, when I come back, guess what? Everything else that you're doing, I'm gonna straighten it out, man. Right? Plain upon table.
I'm putting checks and balances on our lives right now.
Right.
It
Ask
starts right
him
now.
when if he Marquise, whatever that man name is, or whatever that is. Yeah, whenever you When was the last time you made a sacrifice for the atonement of your sin?
Hold on, let's see if it's a fake page. Because sometimes they be having fake page.
Yeah, it might
Man, Mark, whatever, G. Get on your real page, man. Then we'll answer your questions, man. Stop playing the game. Get on your real damn page, man. People like to get on your real page. This just these bots, man.
Yeah, bots.
These bots, man. Get on your real page, man.
What's today?
Like the date.
Oh, it was going on June 10th.
And then he done this, nigger. It says, I'm not a man, nigga. You're a bot. Yeah.
You a bot, man.
Yeah.
What was your question, Sister Jenny?
They got bots that do this stuff now, so y'all got to be careful even online now. They will do that just like this did. I'm glad he recognized that, because that's exactly what that
But
is.
they fill it up like that, you already know that's not no person that's going to really ask. They ain't really got no real question. They ain't got no page. Go ahead, sis.
Okay, so for those who experience sleep paralysis, would you say that's God put a demon on you? Yeah. You know, you get like paralyzed in your sleep, you can't move, you can't do any of that, but I guess it's a demon. So if the demon is on you, would that be God sending a demon to you?
Yeah. A lot of times to get those things out, we do what? Fast and pray.
What comes to us in what's that?
She was asking about sleep paralysis, because all things, it's spirits in everything that we do. Everything. I just say brothers can have, like I say, lust, hatred, envy. Spirits come in every shape and every form. So even with that particular type of spirit, yeah, it's just that's what it is. It's a spirit. What you looking for?
Huh? What?
You thought you said the precept.
It's in Ecclesiastes. 5 and 3. Yeah. No, that ain't what I want. I mean, that's kind of it, but it's not, because she's talking about sleep paralysis. Like, what's sleep paralysis? Explain it for the people that's don't know what that is, because I damn sure don't know what it is.
So you could be laying down going to sleep, and then all of a sudden you cannot move. Like you can see, you can hear, you can think, but you cannot move. It's like you get paralyzed. And then it'll release you, and then all of a sudden you can move. But it's like a demon.
Like something took over your body.
Yeah, that very well could be that, sis. Like we say, to know, like we say, to throw up prayers and throw up a fast to get those particular spirits off. Because sometimes they can't come off except you do those things.
The whole thing was God put it on you. Though.
Yeah, that's right. He can, but remember, the Most High God do certain things to do what? To see if we're gonna seek Him according to the Scriptures. A lot of times we try to do what? Work our own way out of that particular situation. So He's gonna constantly do what? Keep trying us to see if we're gonna do what? Do it according to His way.
And sometimes the Most High allow the devil to work on you because he trusts in you. And like he said, even with Job, he said, "Have you tried my servant Job?" He was walking up and down to and fro, looking for somebody who can go and rip their head off. He's like, "Hey, you tried my servant Job?" And he's like, "Okay, try him, but just don't kill him." So a lot of times we go through some things because the Most High allowed him to try. And it ain't the Most High that's one that's giving those things what he's gonna do. He just allowed him to go and tip. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes he might tip you that way. He might tip you other different ways. It's the devil is the one talking about, "I'm gonna do it like this. If he let me do this, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." So it still is. We need to stay in no matter what we're going, to stay with the Most High God, despite what the devil comes at you at. See what I'm saying? Here we go again. These are New Testament only.
So I no, not so I don't know. We talking about drinks though. We talking about drinks. We talking about like come on.
I just gave a whole class on these scriptures that was in the Old Testament talking about Yahweh Shah.
Like I told you, man, only a maniac can ask like 5,000 questions in a row, man. You got to be a maniac, man. How would you go on somebody's page and put 10,000 and then put 7 questions in a row and we can't answer the first one? You got to be a maniac.
Torah keepers, we gave you the Messiah in the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 27. It literally just said Messiah. Now, if you want the Bible to say Christ, it's not going to say it how you want it to be said. Remember, the Bible is written in parables. Let's get that in Daniel.
It's amazing me. They try to control what they want God to say.
That's right.
He didn't say it the way I want to hear it. Y'all keep running and doing that.
But the thing is, nigga, you wouldn't listen, know that.
You won't listen.
That's the whole point.
You're not listening to the words now.
Let's get that right quick. This is the Old Testament. Now, if you wanted to say Christ, it's not going to say Christ, bro. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Torah Keeper. But I mean, it's telling you the Messiah. Who is the Messiah?
And that's funny because they say Deuteronomy 18 and 15 through 18 is talking about Joshua, but it ain't say Joshua, but apparently you took it and made that.
Read verse 25. Select
25. Yeah. The book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 25. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build judgment, Jerusalem, unto the Messiah.
Unto the who?
Unto the Messiah.
Unto the who?
Unto the Messiah.
It's literally saying unto the Messiah.
Name another damn Messiah in the Bible.
And that's the point. That's a good damn point.
Name another one.
Read on. We got you. All right. Read on.
The prince shall be even 7 weeks and 62 weeks.
And this is giving you a timeline going into what, 400 and some years, taking you to the time of the Persian captivity.
And that can't be Joshua.
Like, this is after that. I mean, it makes no sense, brother. Let's get another just quick precepts. 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 27. We literally see Christ in the Apocrypha. Brother, we didn't use the New Testament last time, brother. Brother, you tripping. Now, can you say and talk to those 2 precepts that we gave you? Read this, huh?
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter, you said 7, 27?
Yeah, 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 27.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what a lot of these scoffers do. They go from one page to the next. They probably just got finished with a count. Now they coming over to this count. Just do it. They ain't got no real question. They probably done answered every question that y'all had, and y'all still don't receive it, man. That's a damn shame too, though, man. Right? Well, let's deal with it.
2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 27. And whosoever is delivered from the foresaid evils shall see my wonders. For my son, Jesus, shall be revealed with those that be with him.
Read on now.
And they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years.
Read on.
And after these years shall my son, Christ, die.
Read that again,
Shall my son, Christ, die.
Read it again.
Shall my son, Christ, die.
So he's showing you Christ, his son, shall die. Read on up.
And all men that have life.
It's literally showing you that in the Apocrypha. We didn't use the New Testament. We used the Tanakh. We used the Apocrypha.
Go to Proverbs 30 and 4, man. Pull the same precept on the road. And it said that plain, man. It's almost to the point like you almost, hey, if the women will close their ears and the kids, we almost tell you they be. You understand that? It said Christ is gonna die, man. It literally says this, right? Read that, Proverbs 30 and 4, man.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 4. Who had ascended up into heaven?
Read.
Or descended? Who had gathered the wind in his fist?
Who gathered the wind in his fist, man? Read.
Who had bound the waters in a garment? Who had established all the ends of the earth? What is his name?
He said, what is this God's name, man? Read.
And what is his son's name?
Why is he asking what's God's son's name, man? If he ain't got no son, man. But that's not talking about Christ. Why is it asking a question about this, man? That's crazy as hell, man. Right? That's be out of their mind.
Man, let's get some more. Let's go to Genesis. Man, now we're gonna take you there.
And then we're going to Numbers.
Go to the book of Genesis, chapter 49, man. Like, you literally see Christ throughout all the scriptures. It's not going to say Christ like how you want it. That's the point.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh comes.
Shiloh is another title for Christ, meaning what? The peaceable one. Until Shiloh comes. Read that again from the top, huh?
Genesis 49 and 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet,
Read on.
until Shiloh comes.
Last time I checked, the Most High God don't have a tribe, man. Now, he deals with particular tribes. He's known in Judah, but you cannot read an account where the Most High God come out of a specific tribe. Read on, huh?
And unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So this is literally showing you Christ even in Genesis. There's many other precepts.
Let's go to another one, man. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, man, chapter 14. Man. Watch this, man. Start at verse 8. We're going to read 8 and 9, man. Brothers just be running their mouth, man. This is Old Testament, man. Read that. 2nd Ezra, chapter 14, verse 8. Start at verse 8.
2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
That thou lay up in thy heart the signs that I have showed,
He said, lay up in our heart the signs he showed, man, right? Read.
and the dreams that thou hast seen,
Uh-huh.
and the interpretations which thou hast heard.
Read.
For thou shalt be taken away from all, and from henceforth thou shalt remain with my son.
Whose son is that talking about, man? He said, therefore, this is the Lord saying we're gonna be remain with his son. After all, guess what? After all the prophesying in the dream, in the vision we got, guess what? We're gonna be remain with Christ, man. With his son, man. Right? Playing upon tables, man.
And the way they want the book written, we wouldn't have a book if it was written the way y'all want it to be written.
Right?
I mean, Esau would have written if you'd have gave everything name, plain, clear, it wouldn't be a mystery book, first of all. Then he would have seen all that. This book would have been, we would have never had this published anymore.
Let me finish verse 9 now. Cause if you know he's gonna be remain with his son, go watch what it say. Read verse 9.
Thou shalt remain with my son, and with such as be like thee, until the times be ended.
Until the times be ended. So who's coming at the end of time, man? Right? Who's coming to deliver us out of this captivity, man? Right? Like you say, you can't jump over 13 to 51, man. It's going the same thing, man.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 51. Then said I, O Lord, that bears rule, show me this.
He said, the Lord that bears rule, man. Show me this. Read. Talking about God, right? Read.
Wherefore have I seen the man coming up from the midst of the sea.
Who's the man that coming up from the midst of the sea that's going to be cracking this sky, man? Right? This is what we talk about all the time, man. Right?
This is not the Most High. Why does the Most High God need to leave his throne when he's a God? He can send people to do his work.
Right.
I mean, come on, man.
It's crazy, man. Read it.
And he said unto me, like as thou canst not neither seek out, nor know the things that are in the deep, of the depth of the sea. Even so can no man upon earth see my son.
Why? Well, this I'm talking about, it's crazy.
That's
man.
plain. I know, Brother Darren Vitamin, you saying the JPS translation about the Tanakh, but we literally just read in the Torah, the first 5 books of Moses, where we see Christ. So even that question is null and void, brother. No, brothers know the Torah is the first 5 books. The Tanakh is going into the prophets, into Isaiah, Jeremiah. JPS going into the Masoretic text. Like, brother, we literally just read what Christ was in the first 5 books. We literally read them in Genesis. So it's not going to say it how y'all want it to say. Like I said, what would be the mystery of that? If it's said it, then who are y'all? Who the hell are y'all? I would say, even Christ said, sure, even if I show you signs of wonders, you still wouldn't believe it. So,
Man, the fellow said, show me where we needed a mediator in the Old Testament.
And then what's funny when you translate it for the Masoretic text, meaning somebody they had to translate it from Hebrew to the same way the King James Version had to have been. It's still translated. It's a translation.
It said, show us what we needed a mediator. Go to Exodus 20, man. We go to Exodus 20. Chapter 20, verse 18, man. This is making a clear mediator, man. After he just read the 10 commandments, right? After the 10 Commandments just was read this, man.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoke. And when the people saw it, they were moved and stood afar off.
So guess what? This is the Most High God when He's talking. So we're gonna be talking to the Most High God. And He's gonna be talking to us like this, and we're gonna be able to stand here and just be cool. Man, if the lightning strike at your house right damn now, guess what? You gonna jump, right? Everybody in here, hey, gonna lightning hit. I ain't gonna say we're gonna have like we running all over the house with lightning hit, but guess what? It sends a shockwave through your body when it hit, right? Guess you driving down the road, lightning hit right in front of your car. Woo! You can feel it, right? Read it.
And when the people saw it, they were moved and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses,
what did they say to Moses?
Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die.
Guess what? We asked for a mediator. He's talking about we literally asking for a mediator right here, man. Right?
So the Exodus 23 and 20.
Brother Bug, man.
And then, oh my goodness. The JPS is written by the fake Jewish people. Why you want to go there? The fake Jewish people.
It's called
the New Jewish Publication Society of America tonight. The Jewish, published in 1985. You want us to believe the? Oh man, come on, stop.
JPS looking at.
Instead of going to King James, seeing how he had 47 on the best scholars.
1985. Man, come on, man.
The Exodus 23.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 20. Behold, I send an angel before thee.
To do what?
To keep thee in the way.
To do what?
To keep thee in the way.
To keep thee in the way, man. That's that mediator that we have to have practice to keep thee in the way. How do you know keep reading?
And to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him.
Do what?
Beware of him.
And also, like Christ said, he don't want to go bring us into the place which the Most High prepared, right? He said, in my Father's house there are many mansions. Read on.
Obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions.
Why?
For my name is in him.
That's a mediator. He said, my name is in him, man. Obey his voice. That's a mediator. Just like we witnessed with Moses. How Moses, the children said, yeah, Moses, you speak for us. Now, this is literally Christ, right? And the angel is capitalized, right? Obey his voice.
It's precept there for Psalm 34:7, man. Get that reading.
The book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 7. And the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them.
Read on.
Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him.
So guess what, man? That's why the Lord said in Exodus 23 and 20, said, blessed is the Lord that trusted in this angel that he kept around about us. Why? Because his name is in the Lord, and he's not going to quit those whatever you're going through, man. You better trust him, all right?
Yeah, that's too many precepts. Any other questions, brothers? Brothers and sisters, any other questions before we get out of here?
Yeah.
Norman 10, it's talking about strength. So I think that's pretty much the same concept as avoid the Edomite.
Read Deuteronomy what up?
Deuteronomy 10,
What team?
18 or 19. Yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 18 and 19.
I'm reading it now. Different strength. This thing is
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 18. He doeth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loveth the stranger, and giving him food and raiment. Love ye therefore the strangers, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
So yeah, the Most High God was using that as an example. Remember, y'all were strangers. So it come a time when, guess what? The shoe's gonna be on the other foot. Like when y'all brothers come to another land of the land of Judah, that's from Naphtali. You treat them like they're your brothers because they are.
Judah.
That's right.
But we had tribes that we had. If you go through there, we were enemies amongst each other. Remember the fight with us against the Benjamites and stuff like that. And that, in fact, Benjamin got in trouble because they did treat the stranger like that. Remember, that was a stranger of our own people who went into Benjamin, and they didn't treat him like that.
Go ahead, Go ahead.
So 18, that stranger, who was that stranger that he loved? Us, right? Our strangers of our brothers, right? 19, he talks about that same stranger, but then he ends it and saying because you were strangers as well.
Yeah,
right. Then he's putting the difference
showing you like,
that we were strangers in the land, but not that he. But it's a difference, right? I knew this when you were going to. Yeah, I see where you're going.
He's saying that Israel has been strangers in Egypt.
Right.
We know we took it people.
That's right.
So that correlates with the other nations being that strange.
No. He just using that as I know that's right. He just using that as an example.
As an example.
That's it. Because like we said, we were strangers in Egypt.
That's right.
So he knew like how we were treated in Egypt.
That's right.
We was treated horribly as being strangers in Egypt. So he's saying, y'all got your own land now.
Don't treat your brother like that.
Don't treat your brothers like that, like how y'all was treated in Egypt.
Yeah.
That's what that's going into.
Because remember, that's all that he was just talking to the Israelites.
So remember, though, we had our own land. Judah had their own spot, right? And they had their own spot. So when you see another brother come from another, don't treat him like a stranger. That's right. Like you were treated in Egypt. That's why I knew you was going there too.
Yeah, and that's all that it's saying. So you're thinking that it's talking about.
Yeah. So it's like, people are strangers in Egypt, and Egypt, they not our brothers, so we ain't the same type of stranger.
That's right.
Nah, he was just letting them know. Remember, y'all was strangers because all of the 12 tribes they had got
they had been came up with something. Two big strangers.
Say it again.
The Northern Kingdom was the cast off at the time. Two big strangers.
Yeah, exactly. But he's letting you know, like when they get the inheritance of land. Remember, this is going into, like we said, when they get their allotted lands, the Most High God was giving us commandments on what we needed to do when we officially got the land. Like, hey, this is gonna happen to y'all. A lot of times we got laws before they actually knew what was going to happen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you having the Joshua who's literally getting the inheritance of land. Like, hey, remember these commandments. Because guess what? Now y'all getting these lands. Remember what I've been teaching y'all these whole time in the wilderness.
And he is teaching his people, through Deuteronomy, how to respect one another, how to love one another.
That's why
Deuteronomy 1:1. It's to the children of Israel, and he's teaching them this is how y'all need to be amongst each other. That's something we do know. That's what we're talking about.
Like I said, brothers gotta have that Leviticus chapter 25, verse 35. Any other questions out there?
I got one.
Go ahead, Al.
So when you were in the wilderness, the laws will not be written on our hearts and minds.
No, remember, we're let's go to Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 32. Not at that point. We're getting close to that point. Remember, when we go out to the wilderness, Christ is going to be, he's going to take us out there to prove us again. We got to go through another proving stage. Yeah, straight to the bond of the covenant.
Oh, okay, 37. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 37. And I will cause you to pass under the rod.
Meaning correction. Christ is going to be out there to correct us and to prove us. Meaning when he give us the true understanding, he want to see what brother, sister that's going to go against that. He's gonna have us to pass under the rod. Read on.
And I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
That's when we guess what on the steps of going into the bond of the covenant. You understand that? Read on.
Verse 38. And I will purge out from among you the rebels.
The who?
The rebels.
So once he purged out what? Those rebels, then we can see us officially going into, like we say, that new covenant.
It's the same pattern that had happened before. Remember, we were set free, went into the winter one for 40 years until everybody that was no good and wicked did well. Died off. He purged them out. Then he went into the land.
It's just like you, the Lord said, we go try it in the fire. You got to purge out the impurities.
Yeah.
Then set it out like with this blood.
Any other questions out there? And I know it may come up sometimes like, why do we even have to go? Hey, you want us to respect that thing. A lot of times you giving stuff like we always bring out, our people don't respect it, man. Even going to our point. Go ahead, Al.
Precept for that, Deuteronomy.
What is it? What you got? What is it?
Deuteronomy 8 and 11, 14.
Read that right quick out.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 11. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God, and not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which are commanded thee this day, lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses, and dwelt therein, and when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied, then thy heart be lifted up, and thou forget the Lord thy God, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
Yeah, that's a good precept to the point that I was bringing out. A great precept. Brothers better make sure they have that, sisters too. Because a lot of times when brothers do get puffed up in the truth, sometimes you forget the Lord is the one that gave you that knowledge. You know, we forget about those things, man. It's very important to stay humble in this truth with more knowledge that you done gained and acquired. So that's a great precept, brother. You're right. All right.
Well, sister, got any more questions? Man, brother, sister, man, hey, thank you for tuning in, man. Like and share the video, man. Help us put the true branch four corners of the earth, man. Hey, man, y'all scoffers, man. Look, man, y'all brothers better get y'all some understanding of the scriptures, man. Like you say, you better get the King James and let it lead you. Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Say, follow God's laws, statutes, and commandments.
Everybody's heart get lifted up.
Let's bring the same precept out he just brought out.
That'll be your law.
So we started.
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 11. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God, and not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which commanded thee this day, lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses and dwelt therein, and when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, and thy silver and gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied, then thy heart be lifted up, and forget the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, and from the house of bondage.
And with that, say shalom.
Shalom.